Welcome to another episode of the Real Nerds Podcast. Ryan's not here.
He's not. Instead, you've got Brad.
And James, who are normally here. And then Dan, you have returned.
Hi. That's me. I'm Dan.
Thanks for coming back.
At one point, the most visited guest on our show.
Yeah, well, and now
been...
tied again. Zach came back. So Zach has been on 3 times, and now you will have been on for a 3rd time.
I don't even know who Zach is, so okay.
Yeah, he's a director. He's got other stuff to do, and he's leaving town soon, so you're easily going to, trump him. But
good.
Anyway. Then we have talked about these people in the past as like, hey, remember that guy? He went to see the movie or whatever with us. But then he's never been on the show and has been listening for a while. Our friend Ryan, Rafe Ryan, is here.
Hi.
Hi, Ryan.
I'm the imposter Ryan this week.
Yeah. We should have had you run the show. Oh, man, we are so not creative.
Yeah, we're off our game.
Yeah, seriously. And his girlfriend, Lisa. Say hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
If you've never listened to Real Nerds Podcast before, we see a major release movie during the week and talk about it. And then we also talk about emails that we get, and then DVD releases and box office stats.
Yeah.
If there's a comic book we recommend, we'll try to do that. And then we kind of talk about stuff we watched during the week.
Yeah. And then we'll review the movie at the end.
Which was?
Sorry, I was burping. It was the Wolverine. We went and saw the Wolverine. It's really late at night, and I had to have some Mountain Dew.
Yeah, this is really late, so we're going to try and burn through this show as fast as possible.
No. I got some caffeine in me. This is
2
like,
a.m.
One of the few sodas I've had in weeks because I'm trying to go kosher or whatever, steady. I'm trying to go steady off of caffeine. I'm dating not having caffeine.
You have a very weird relationship.
I do. Yeah. No. Oh, man. I'm not okay not having Mountain Dew sometimes, but anyway, we're doing all right now. If you're listening to this and you're like, man, this sounds like shit, it's not our podcast. It's honestly not. It's your shitty headphones. Like, your headphones are not very good. And if you go to tweakedaudio.com, you can get these really great headphones that are already reasonably priced, especially for how cool they are. Like, they got wood in them, or the cables are flat, so they don't, like, bunch up when you just shove them in your pocket because you don't care because you're in a hurry. Like, it's okay. When you pull them out of your pocket, they're all going to be straight again. It's going to be great. But if you still are like, you know what, I'm being a little frugal, I want to save some money, that's okay. If you go in there and after when you're checking out, in the promo code, you put in Real Nerds, one word, REELNERDS, you will get 1/3 off of your order, which is like 1/3 of everything you order.
You could order $1,000 worth of earbuds.
Yeah, and they will do the math because that's not easy math. It's like $333.33.
Wow.
0.3 cents.
You're like a genius.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
College.
Wow.
I paid for 5 years of college.
That's what I get for going to art school.
Yeah. They made me stay around another year, that 5th year, because I was so smart.
They couldn't let you go.
Yeah, no, exactly, because I was teaching the classes by the end.
Why don't you brag some more? Speaking of bragging, I'm going to brag about a amazing app you can buy. Not buy. It's actually free. Sorry. I suck at this.
You can buy it for no dollars.
Buy it for no dollars.
All of that money that you saved.
It's so amazing. It's
you
free.
Don't, from Tweaked Audio, you don't
They're
have
giving
to
this
spend
shit away.
any of that money on this app. None of that money goes to this app.
This app, if you like motion comics, is called Narrate. Narr, then the number 8.
Yeah.
And
they have...
I get it.
Yeah. See?
They're all about the Web 2.0.
Yeah.
I do.
People are here are nerdier than I am.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Web 2.0.
It's a motion comic, also book app where you can like download just stuff like that. And then they have a beta version that you can actually make your own.
Yeah, there's all like self-publishing
cool that they're
stuff
working
in there.
on. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but that's what I'm most interested. But yeah.
Yeah, and it's at least something where something fresh that somebody's working on, and it's exciting.
Yeah,
something worth checking out.
And if you're really into it, you have to the app's free, but the actual published stories you have to use credits or coins to trade for. And Real Nerds can help you out by if you hashtag Real Nerds and then also include whatever name you sign up as for Narrate. When you do that, you will get 100 free coins.
Yeah.
To spend at your luxury.
So go onto Facebook or go onto Twitter and either like or follow them and then hashtag them. And then when you sign up for your account on Narrate, then that way they'll go in and they'll be like, dude, this guy is awesome and friends of the Real Nerds. Let's give him some buckazoids, and then you can spend that imaginary money on comics. And as you read comics and narrate, you get more imaginary money to spend on comics. Like, reading makes you dollars. It's crazy currency. I don't understand how economies work, but this is apparently a magical economy.
You don't have to understand it. You just have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, man, that's actually like the best tagline ever.
A word of advice: if you're going to write down some or come up with some dumb username like XX Bud Smoke a 420,
Oh yeah, that is my username.
make sure you just write it down so that you can get your discount later.
Oh,
Your
good
free
thinking.
Your free coin a buck.
This is true. Yeah. Because if you just make up a shitty name,
Yeah,
you
like
got to make
James.
sure that you get it in. Well, you dick. Anyway, let's move on. First,
One last thing that
Oh,
we
do
have
I-
to do.
Oh.
Ryan's dad does.
Ryan's dead.
Oh,
Ryan's
that's right. I
dad does
forgot that
mobile
we've added this.
paintball.
Yeah.
Um,
What's the name of it? Pirate Paint.
Pirate Paintball.
Yeah.
If you look them up, I don't think he has a website. I think you just have to run into him.
You like them on Facebook.
Like him on Facebook? Okay.
And then you send it's the same kind of thing where if you tweet at them or you hashtag Real Nerds or whatever.
Yeah.
then-
Say, the Real Nerd sent me to play paintball with you. He
Yeah.
will hook you up.
Yeah, he's gonna
With some
give you like
discounts.
free paint and shit.
Free paint.
Like let you use one of his guns.
Yep.
He's probably still gonna shoot you as much as he can when you're actually out there.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's fun. Like paint.
You get like a jumpsuit that has a giant target on the back. It says, I mentioned the Real Nerds, and then
yeah. Yeah.
he just
and then everybody
He
tries to shoot you.
blindfolds you, and then just spins you around, and then sends you
Sends
off
you
into
into
the
the
wilderness.
woods. And
Yeah.
hope. Yeah.
Hopefully, you emerge 3 days later, paint free.
Yeah. Or at least alive.
Hey, let's talk about movies now.
Okay. How about we talk about mail?
Sure, that's what I meant.
Emails? Emails?
Emails about
Emails.
movies. Duh.
Emails?
Emails.
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 Thanks, Brad. Fan mail! I don't actually have the emails pulled up, so you're going to have to give me a second and then cut
Did
this
we
part.
have any emails? I don't.
I will impromptu send you an email right now.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Real
Receiving.
Nerds.
Receiving.
What?
Receiving.
You fucked it up for me.
Got it.
already. I live in the greater Denver metro area.
What?
If I'm interested in finding a local retail place to buy movie posters, where would I go?
That's a good question, Dan. I tend to go. I don't pick up movie posters like when I go seeking them. I don't seek them out a lot. A lot of what happens is I'll be at conventions and I'll see like, oh, dude, there's an awesome mini poster for Fantastic Voyage, and I'll pick it up. So as far as going to stores, comic book stores tend to have them, but not really cool ones all the time. A lot of times I'll just go to like allposters.com and buy them there.
I was gonna say I don't really recommend retail stores. I'd say go to the internet.
Yeah.
eBay is usually where I find mine.
Especially if you want something that's a little bit different. If you want yourself like a really great poster of all the Jonas Brothers together, like you can go to a Walmart or you can go to like
I'm not talking.
a For Your Entertainment in the mall and pick up one of those things. Like here's a Metallica poster from 1996.
Yeah, here's my Justin Bieber
Right, yeah,
poster.
yeah. And even if they do have the movie posters, they tend to be the smaller ones that they're not even the best poster for that run.
When you're looking for movie posters, you want to find 27 by 40, double-sided. That's an authentic movie poster.
What's a double set? What does that mean?
You can flip it around, and it'll be just the reverse of that image.
Yeah.
So.
okay.
Because when they put them into the screens in a theater, they shine a light behind it. So if the same image were on the back, you would see like a weird reflection.
Right.
So they
okay.
print the same image on the back so that you get a really crisp image shining through the paper.
So what if
If you order them online, they're usually printed, in which case they won't be double-sided.
Yeah, like that's the thing. What if I don't want an authentic double-sided one, but I would be willing to pay like $20 to $30 for a decent reprint?
I would still say go online because the thing is,
they're way cheaper.
Yeah, they're cheaper
because they print them like that. Yeah,
and because you're going to be able to really look through and find one that like isn't find one that's not the same poster you've always seen. Like any store you go into, you can get that Pulp Fiction poster that's like it's the sideways poster of the two of Jules and what's his name? Vincent holding the gun and pointing it sort of at an angle. You can find that poster anywhere. Like literally, you walk onto a college campus and there are dudes handing them out for free. The same is true with the Boondock Saints poster. Like you can find the Boondock Saints poster
in a Clockwork Orange
anywhere. Yeah, in a Clockwork Orange. Like there's these fucking cliche posters that are not very cool. And when you walk into somebody's dorm room, Yes, I had that poster. When you walk into somebody's dorm room, you immediately think, I don't like you as much as I hoped I would. Like,
one of my favorite jokes from The Office is when Michael's nephew interns for The Office, and he talks about his influences as a filmmaker. He's like Citizen Kane and the Boondock Saints. And it's like, yep, that sounds about right.
Oh,
they nailed
my
that
God.
one.
Yeah. And then, of course, they're still kicking around like, Troy Duffy's going to make Boondock Saints 3. Oh, good. How many people saw the last one?
They actually released, it wasn't even on digital bits, the director's cut of Boondock Saints 2 last week on Blu-ray.
He made a director's cut?
There's a director's cut. There's
Why?
more footage for the movie.
Oh, good. All that stuff you missed.
I actually like the first one.
Oh, I like the first one. It's all the dude bros making that their favorite movie of all time. That just bugs the shit
Have you
out
seen
of
the
me.
documentary Overnight?
No, I
You
keep
should.
meaning to. The one about how much of a dick Troy Duffy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how the Weinsteins put out a hit on him.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Like they?
Well, there's no proof, but
right?
they
Yeah,
speculate.
but he thinks that the Weinsteins put a hit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a crazy pants.
But as far as reprints go, at least make sure you're getting the right size, which is 27 by 40, which a lot of reprints are 24 by 36,
Right.
and they fit in
Smaller ones.
frames that you can easily find, but it's
Yeah.
the 27 by 40, which is really hard to find frames for.
Yeah.
But
that was
it's still
going to be my
authentic.
next question, Brad, is how do you get frames for your posters?
How do I?
Yeah.
I got 4 about a decade ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they were 27 by 40, and they were plasticky.
Yeah, the ones that just sort of pop together and then slowly deteriorate.
and they're
on
really
the wall.
expensive each.
Yeah.
And now I haven't bought a frame for one since. Most of my posters are just in rolls right now.
Yeah. I fell into a couple. Like I had one given to me, and I think it had like a 300 poster or something shitty. Oh no, it had a poster for Lucky Number 11 in it.
Oh God.
And the guy was like, "Hey, do you want this?" And I'm staring at it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course I do." And the first thing I did was rip the poster out of it, and I was like, "I just want this frame. Like this, this frame is worth gold." But then I've tried to order them online, and yeah, some places you go, it's easier now than it used to be. But it used to be like you had to pay if you only wanted one or two, you had to pay a wholesale fee for them opening a box of 10 because they only want to sell you them like for resale. So they want to sell you 10 in a whole box and ship them to you. So if you only want
Which
one,
no one really needs.
I know, like it's insane, and I don't know how allposters.com hasn't just bought a bunch of them and sold them for $15 a pop because that just makes sense. But anyway, good
Cool.
email, Dan. Thanks for writing in.
Thanks, dudes.
You can email us realnerds@gmail.com. You can tweet us real_nerds. You can like us on Facebook as Real Nerds Podcast or wherever we are. You can comment on our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us. You can go on and subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a review. Nobody does that anymore. But if you've been listening for a long time, go in there and just throw a review in there. Take 2 minutes and just say something horrible about us or whatever. But just so that we know that somebody's listening. Sometimes the screen feels like you're yelling into a hallway.
Did you say they could listen to us on Stitcher too?
Oh yeah, you can listen to us on Stitcher.
That's right.
Yeah, just go on there.
Stitcher
That's
app.
pretty good. Yeah.
Listen to us on your phone.
So if you're Android, that's the easiest way. Cool.
Any other mail?
I don't think so. I was looking at tweets. I'm not seeing.
If you emailed us and we missed it this week, we apologize and just resend it, and we'll make up for it.
Yeah, you just got to forgive us.
Yeah, there's retweets of stuff we did. We posted interviews. There were comments about those interviews,
And we've got obviously the live show, but by the time this goes up, it's only going to be a couple days away. But if you don't already know, Wednesday the 31st.
Yep.
Excuse me again.
Castleman's
at
Barn
Castleman's.
venue, so it only applies to really people in Denver.
Yeah, right. Well, if you want to,
If you want to come out of state,
yeah,
check it
I'll
out.
let you sleep in my
Yeah.
basement for sure. Well, my parents' basement. I'm sure they don't care.
you got to go
8:00
online, get your tickets, $5,
or show up at the door and they're 8.
Huh?
If you show up at the door, they're 8.
Yeah. I don't have the address for the online for me.
I don't know. Just
Go
if
to
you Google,
castlemans.com.
yeah,
They'll have a list of their
Castleman's,
shows, and then just find the Real Nerds. Well, it'll probably be the Boy Who Stares.
Well, we're on there too, but CASSELMANS Castleman's.
And we'll be
Look 'em
doing
up.
an hour's worth of podcasting post film segment, and
Yeah,
we might have
Oh.
a little surprise.
we're gonna go up and
At
we're
the
gonna
end.
fuck around on stage for a while,
Yeah.
and see if we get
try to
booed.
captivate an audience.
Yeah, see if that happens. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna be crazy.
anyway, that's mail. Box office numbers.
Sure.
This is the box office stats.
This week sucks. I was pissed
Does
last
it?
week. Oh my god.
What happened this week?
Okay, so the movie we saw last week is R.I.P.D. Came in at number 7, well deserved, I would say, at only $12 million out of $130 million.
That's gonna be tough to make up.
Yeah, but that movie's not very good, so I'm kind of okay with it. The one that makes me sad is that number 6 is Pacific Rim. That movie made $16 million last week.
In its second week.
Yeah, its second week, it dropped to number 6. Like, what
So
the
word
fuck
of
are
mouth
people
didn't
doing?
carry around.
Yeah, like, and okay, I understand The Conjuring came in at number 1, $40 million. Everybody's loving that movie. That's cool. Despicable Me at number 3. Fucking Turbo came in at number 3, or Despicable Me at 2. I mean, Turbo is number 3.
Well,
Grown
Turbo
Ups
is a
2
new
is number
release.
4. Like, what the fuck are people doing? Stop going to see shitty movies.
You don't know that. You didn't see him.
Again, the conversation from last week. If it's a movie where Adam Sandler gets his mouth peed in, it's
By a
not a
screen.
movie worth seeing. That's just as a general rule. Red 2 came in at number 5 though, which is a neat little surprise. My parents went and saw it.
What if the stinger, like post-credit scene for Pacific Rim, was Adam Sandler getting peed in his mouth?
All right, I'd rethink my rule then.
Okay.
Yeah, but the movie would not be as good. The stinger for Pacific Rim is not the stinger for Pacific Rim isn't like brilliant, but if it were that, the movie would be lessened by the involvement of Adam Sandler's mouth pee. Just
Okay.
in general, like Pacific Rim would not be as good of a movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I really wish Ryan was here so he could do an Adam Sandler impression. I'm like, oh, these robots peed in my mouth.
I'll say this. Pacific Rim would have been better if there actually, I don't think I had seen there was a trailer for it. If there were a trailer for Grown Ups 2 where Adam Sandler got his mouth peed in at the beginning of Pacific Rim wouldn't have been as good as it was. And that's just a trailer at the beginning. Like, that's how bad that whole idea is. Anyway, DVD and Blu-ray releases.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
What's coming out this week, James?
I was doing my very best Joe impression of the way that Joe says that.
Yeah, you missed it.
I know. G.I. Joe Retaliation is the big release this week. Here's a little insider trading for you. If you go to Sam's Club, G.I. Joe Retaliation will be $24 on Blu-ray.
That's a standard price for a Blu-ray.
Right. If you go to Sam's Club, a bundle of G.I. Joe Retaliation and G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra will be $24.
Oh.
So
They're giving away that other movie.
they are giving away Rise of Cobra, which, as far as I'm concerned, the better movie. I know Brad won't agree with me.
No, not at all.
There's some people out
Jesse
there
will agree with you.
There are some people out there who appreciate how good Rise of Cobra is. But Retaliation's not bad. I won't buy it. Yeah. Yeah, it's got underwater sea bases in it.
Yeah.
Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, which is the next DC animated movie, comes out this week. That what Brad and I will actually care about is that the Next Generation Season 4 comes out on Blu-ray this week.
I care about this too.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm still kind of watching through the series and on Netflix.
Yeah, no.
So
because
I'm happy that this is still happening, but I'm
right.
Yeah, I didn't know they were on season 4 already.
Yeah, they're pumping them out pretty quick. I think because as the seasons go, it gets easier to do the new CG kind of stuff to fix the show, but I'm not entirely
Probably.
sure.
They have more original footage, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They got rid of that ugly character in season 1. What was her name?
The Doctor, you mean?
No, the blonde one.
Oh,
Tasha Yar?
Yeah, Tasha Yar is
Tasha
the
Yar.
Wow,
worst.
harsh.
And it
Oh,
was
no,
hard, it was
Tasha
hard to
Yar
make
is the
her
worst.
look good in HD. And then
Yeah,
after that, it's all better. So.
She comes back as a Romulan. You know that, right?
yeah,
Nope.
yeah. The
Whoops.
actress,
Thanks,
is,
asshole.
Yeah. Still not as bad. Tasha
Uh.
Yar not as bad as the Romulan version of Tasha Yar. Or I meant that the other way. Romulan version of Tasha Yar not as awful as Tasha Yar herself.
Actually, Tasha Yar comes back in the last episode, too, as herself.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Best episode is that episode with the Enterprise C in it where Tasha Yar dies. The best episode of Star Trek.
But I'm
And
not...
they're still $75. Like, whew, man, those things are expensive.
Yeah, well, it's like, 4 or 5 Blu-ray discs in one
Yeah.
package. But I'm waiting for the big all-seasons collector one single set.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
and these...
I don't trust TV, DVDs to come out in the same packaging all the way through anymore.
Right.
They'll do 6, it'll be 7-season thing, and then 6 of them will come out in one type of packaging, and then the 7th one they'll be like, oh yeah, people don't like this season, so let's just throw it in a regular shitty case.
So, Brad, what's my favorite TV show of all time?
Justified.
No. My favorite TV show of all time is Lost. And the way that they do the box art on
That's what I
that,
said, right?
because you don't listen the whole anytime I talk about these shows anyway, so it all runs together. But there's like a little picture of a character on the spine of each one, and for at first it's Touchstone, I think, that's doing the releases, and the boxes the DVDs are really cool. The DVD boxes are really cool, and then for the last two, it's CBS Entertainment, something like that, or ABC Entertainment, I think. And that picture of the guy is on season 5 slightly higher. And on season 6, a good centimeter higher. And it's the most frustrating thing. Like, I look up on my shelf at how nice my DVDs look, and then there's just this like somebody hit it with a hammer. Like, oh,
I've got that
come
beat.
on.
Get through? Like,
I don't know. Like somebody who doesn't care.
I've got that beat. So there's 15 seasons of South Park right now, and they've been really good about keeping the actual material packaging the same.
Yeah.
But there's that white one where the South Park sign is just slightly higher up on the packaging than the rest of them. So you watch when there's on your wall, it's like this row, and then there's like this one anomaly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
what happened? And of course, like down at the bottom, like the Comedy Central logo's changed since then.
Yeah.
So that's
right.
different. But it's just, they're all in the same spot at least. But yeah, there's just this one thing just kind of sticking up.
Man, the kind of shit we
And
have
there's
to put up
15
with.
of that. Yeah, I know. First world problem.
world problems. The Devil's Backbone comes out on a Criterion edition, which is a Guillermo del Toro movie.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's this movie called Black Rock that's got Kate Bosworth in it that I've seen trailers for, and I think I remember thinking that it looked interesting, but it's just getting dumped.
Yeah, it's about 3 girls who vacation
Kill-
on an island and then they get hunted by men.
Yeah, something
Ooh.
like that.
Yeah.
Hot.
So if you want to check, go check out the trailer for it at least, and maybe go rent it.
Yeah.
Since it's clearly just getting dumped, nobody cares about it. But
It was at the
it
Film
might be
Center
good.
for like a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh cool. And An Awkward Sexual Adventure comes out this week, which is some kind of
Someone made my
weird-
biography?
It's some kind of unrated, weird, not porn. I don't know. The cover is just intriguing because there's a woman with a melon, like a chopped open melon.
Yeah, intriguing or just kind of gross.
It's gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if we're
I
looking
think
at
it's
the same
gross.
cover.
It's gross how much I just keep staring at it. I think that's the part that's gross. Yeah. Anyway, not a big week.
No.
It's
One
still
more
sort
thing
of
about
weird.
G.I. Joe, though. Best Buy's having that limited edition poster as the cover for their
Oh, you mean that that cool 4-color grayscale poster?
Yeah.
That we have. Oh, that's a cool poster.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you like different art for your DVDs and Blu-rays,
I
check
really
out
hate the way
Best
they're
Buy.
doing it.
Huh?
I really hate the way they're doing it. Like having different DVD box art at different stores. Like, it's just such bullshit.
That's awesome. Instead of like, oh, here's more photographs, stylized photographs of
Yeah, but
people's heads arranged differently.
all right. Well, then, yeah, I agree with that. I would rather they have like cool artsy covers on every DVD. It's more that if they're going to be multiple ones, just sell them all to Amazon so I can choose which one I want, and they can show up on my doorstep. Because walking into a Best Buy is just a sad, depressing thing, and it brings my whole day down. And I don't want to have to fill my life with that. It's not fun in Best Buy like it used to.
I don't know what you and Ryan have been going through, but I my experiences has gone unchanged. I mean, it's harder to find things because they have less of it. But
Right, exactly. You walk in there, it's just barren. My Best
still,
Buy,
they had
my Best
the
Buy.
whole-
They literally shrunk it. They put a shoe store into my Best Buy.
what?
Yeah, they moved the wall in and built a shoe store on
This
the
one
other
in
side
Park
of the wall.
Meadows?
Yeah, it has
I
shrunk.
was in there. I didn't even notice.
It has shrunk 60%, or it is down to 60% of what it used
you
to
are
be.
making something up.
I am not.
When
That-
did this occur?
A couple 2 years ago. That Fantastic Footwear that's right next to it used to be part of the Best Buy. Yeah. There was a
next
time-
I'm over there, I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
real
Walk
close.
over to that wall and smell it, and you'll smell the fresh paint.
I'll
it's
smell the
totally,
shoes. I'll smell
Yeah, right. You'll smell the leather through the paper thin walls that they hung there in order to disguise their poverty. No, that place used to be huge, and you could just wander through there and find gems. And now the DVDs are sideways.
Yeah, they barely have any Blu-rays or DVDs.
Oh yeah, no, it's just gross.
I think there's actually more music there than there's actually movies.
Which is crazy. I don't know who's buying music, like actual CDs.
Well, that new whatever the fuck album.
Selena Gomez.
Gotta go buy it. Hot new release.
Oh man, it's cold out here in the D. All right. Next up is news.
Yeah, let's do news.
All right. It's real news. I think we're inadvertently following the actual layout for the show here.
The one we started with when we started this podcast.
Yeah. Well, no, because we used to do what we've been watching first. Oh no, you're right. We didn't do what we've been watching first.
No, that was. Let's talk about this some more because that's interesting to people.
Anyway, Batman Superman movie, Brad.
Wait, what? What's going on?
Batman Superman movie.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about one of their
No, I'm just reading.
cartoon ones?
I'm just reading everything the internet has said all week, and all they've said all week is Batman Superman movie.
That's right. Zack Snyder, Man of Steel 2 is just going to be a Batman Superman movie.
Batman Superman movie. That's all we know.
Maybe Batman versus Superman movie.
I don't know.
Not exactly a team up.
I don't know. Batman Superman movie.
That is.
They have a logo.
before.
They have a logo, huh?
Yeah.
The storylines have gone that way before.
It's a really kind of weird logo too, because it is the Man of Steel logo inside of like the like Brave and the Bold Batman logo.
And it's actually more of the Dark Knight Returns Frank Miller logo.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But
which-
still, it's like that big chunky logo. It's definitely not the.
They have a
Christopher
Batman
Nolan.
Superman logo from the comics because
Yeah.
there was, and they're actually
that cartoon
returning
show.
to that, huh?
And the cartoon show, the Batman Superman cartoon show.
Oh yeah.
Give me Google image search and MS Paint, and I'll have you a mashup logo in about a minute.
No, it's. I was saying on the show before, they're like that's. I don't know if I would would have done Man of Steel 2 as the Batman Superman team up, but
Yeah.
I thought World's Finest was the way to go instead of copying the Avengers route. Like take your two best characters, show exactly. Give a movie that can focus on explaining like how these two
Can
polar
exist in the
opposites would
same
exist
world.
in the same world.
Yeah.
And then you can introduce the Flash and Wonder Woman, all the other fantastical characters, and
And I do think that makes sense. I don't think that's the easiest route to take. My theory on this has been for the past, basically since Green Lantern failed, that if I were in charge of WB, I would say, okay, let's put all of our effort behind making a really good Wonder Woman movie, and turning her into the Iron Man. Because I think that what people don't necessarily remember is that part of why Iron Man was so cool was because he was fresh. Nobody had seen a lot of depictions of Iron Man. He wasn't a common part of the pop culture, really. And yes, Wonder Woman is. Green Lantern was really their chance to do that, but they failed that. But there at least haven't been a whole bunch of movies. There's not all of this canon to deal with. You can really start fresh and then create a universe around that character in which you can start introducing these other characters and having them cross over. Plus, I'm just being selfish that I really want a good Wonder Woman movie. And Superman Batman is not the worst idea, but I also don't have a lot of faith in it. Like, I don't know. What would you want to see? You're the Batman guy. What would you want to see?
out of that movie.
Yeah.
I think they have the opportunity to. So you got Lex Luthor, who's a billionaire who, let's say we're in the Man of Steel universe where he's just seen an alien destroy the most populous city on Earth.
And one of his gas trucks.
And one of his gas trucks. He sees Superman as a threat. And he has to rally humanity to his side to expel this alien from the planet, who's probably going to bring about our destruction. He's a billionaire. He has tons of resources to do that. Mm-hmm. Then you've got Bruce Wayne, who is also a billionaire, but he's motivated by, he's afraid of Superman because he knows he's an alien that can bring about his destruction. But he's not out to destroy him. He would rather just see him held in check.
Yeah.
Constantly. So I think there's a dynamic of pitting Superman against those two and watching how each of those you wouldn't call Batman a villain.
So you want like a courtroom drama between Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor where they're arguing over legislation on what to do with the Superman problem?
They argue with citizenship for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what laws should we put in place in order to keep the Superman in check?
No, it's just you can Superman can use Batman to fight Lex Luthor.
Right.
And because they would be the same adversary, but Batman's the one who's more receptive to helping him,
Yeah. So definitely making Lex Luthor the villain, not trying to make a
I know, like, we've seen Lex Luthor way, plenty at this point in Superman movies, but
Right.
it's like, I think because Batman's in there, there's the opportunity to make that interesting. You know, it doesn't have to be about him trying to, find land to sell to people. Now he can
Crystal Land.
Now he can like fight an ideology.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And not just have it like one dimensional where it's like just Superman against Lex Luthor, like his
Right.
plan. It's like, okay, we got another character who can show like, Lex Luthor's plan. You can kind of get behind it because like if Superman decides he wants to go bad, you've got a huge problem on your hands.
Right.
So Lex Luthor's validated in that aspect, but you've also got someone who can show the flip side of that coin.
Right.
And bring another dimension to that dynamic.
The 1,000-ton elephant in the room, though, is what do you do with Batman?
Like, how do you make
If it's not Christian
stand
Bale,
up against? Oh, like what actor?
or is it Christian Bale? Or can
No,
you,
it's not.
Do you even try to use that same costume? Do you even try to use that same tone? Do you give him a more traditional costume that doesn't look like body armor?
I would say you stick with the whole like suit of armor thing.
Yeah.
Because again, like Man of Steel was about bringing Superman into our world,
Right.
making him believable. So Batman would still need like a suit of armor, like the Dark Knight trilogy. You would change it up because even contractually, you can't have the same design.
Would you change the logo? I guess you have to. Like not the straight wing logo.
Yeah, there's been plenty of Batman logos, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you could probably even leave the logo off the suit. Doesn't.
Ooh.
Definitely like not having the yellow because I know it's supposed to bring a target for you to shoot at, but that's kind of silly. like logically, Batman Begins had it right. Like he's supposed to be stealthy, so it would be black.
Yeah.
And it kind of hidden. Like you can almost not see it a lot
Right.
of times in the Dark Knight suit. So, not a really concern.
I
But
think that sounds cool.
it would still be like separated, segmented armor.
At the end of Superman Batman, does Batman break Lex Luthor's neck?
Does Batman break his neck? Dude, he can't even kill the Joker. He's fine. He's fine with letting Ra's al Ghul die, but he'll save the Joker.
Yeah. What if that were the movie? What if the Joker came to Gotham and then the two of them just had to get water squirted in their eye the whole movie? As the Joker runs around like making laughing gas, like go crazy cartoon show with the Joker. No.
Then you've completely abandoned the reason you made Man of Steel in the first place. Like, oh, we're gonna go back to Superman 3. I see. Or just ridiculous, silly people skiing on buildings.
Yeah. What if they get Schumacher to direct this one?
Do you put Schumacher's name on it and like
Superman has giant nipples. Supergirl shows up in Superdog, Crypto.
instead of red in the costume, it's pink?
Yeah, they fight a giant spider at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Does Supergirl have giant nipples too?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, wait. Does Batgirl in Batman 4 does she have like giant nipples on her costume?
Not giant, but they're
But
there.
there are
Yeah.
nipples in the costume. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the one that has the unfortunate huge like cleavage window?
Power Girl.
Power Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get a Power Girl movie.
I'm okay.
Hold on. Okay, I really like Power Girl as a character, but when I
That
hold
rack
on.
man. Good lord.
No. Hold on. Here's the thing. When I would go into the store to buy Power Girl, because they had a really good run a couple years ago of that book, which they killed with the new 52, pissed me off. But I was always embarrassed. I would hide it between my comics when I went to the desk to pay for them, because the covers are always like fucking, J. Scott Campbell bullshit. It's like, look at the cleavage, and I'm like, come on, she's got real world problems, and I relate to her. I mean, not like with the woman thing, but like she's a good
And the
character.
superpower
My boobs
thing.
are
Yeah.
so big too.
Yeah, well, and it's a fun book. Like in that story, she and Batman were fighting T-Rexes together. It was cool.
Do you have real world girl problems?
I do, yeah, I do. Yeah.
They should name that movie "Huge Boob Superhero Woman." Just get
Batman
be
helps.
direct about it.
Batman helps out big cleavage lady fight
Yeah.
dinosaurs. Yeah. Big.
And then
big cleavage lady.
that would give a reason for Batman to have that huge dinosaur in his cave again.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I just want to see a
That's the
penny.
T-Rex I got from helping out Huge Boob Superhero Girl.
That's what it should be. It should just be Superman and Batman go to IKEA to find things to put in the cave, and they get like a giant penny and a big T-Rex and like some old costumes from other superheroes, and they pretend like that, Batman used to beat those guys up. Like it could be like written by the guys who wrote 500 Days of Summer. Batman and Superman go to IKEA.
Sorry, I got distracted by the second half of my Lex Luthor idea.
Okay, go ahead.
Since like the movie could start off with Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor as being like not at odds with each other, like actually working together.
Yep.
But
their kids.
Bruce Wayne could be using his technology to figure out a way to stop Superman for Lex Luthor, and then eventually Batman comes around. Yeah,
that's pretty good. But then
I was trying to think of like how Batman would stop Superman. Like obviously he uses that armor suit, but in the comics, but in the new world,
the Batmobile,
the tumbler, built-in tumbler, just drives over him.
Over
the bat
Superman?
stars that he throws. That's how he'd stop him.
with poison.
With kryptonite tips.
Oh, wait, but there's no kryptonite.
They find it in this one.
Oh, fuck! Don't bring back kryptonite.
When they were digging out like Metropolis, some of the Kryptonian ship, they dug out some fragments from whatever chamber, and like, ooh, what's this green thing? Then Superman overhears
a shitty
it.
plot device. That's what it is. Oh
It's
man,
moss. Ugh.
This Kryptonian
It's
moss.
everywhere.
So there's more news than that, right?
yeah.
We had San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
All the big announcements happened after we recorded the last episode.
Yeah. Which ones were those? Avengers got a new name, which totally changes our idea of what Phase 2 is going to be, because basically they're going to fight Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they're going to fight Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron, which is the next one.
So it's a Transformers crossover.
Disney's Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron.
Right, yeah, exactly. Other than that, I don't even know what else there was. We got the first footage from Veronica Mars, which looks awesome.
Yeah.
I am super excited for that movie now.
I am not familiar with any of that.
You should watch Veronica Mars. It's real good.
Okay.
Do you mean you're not familiar with any of Veronica Mars?
Any of it. I
If
mean, I
you
know
say
Kristen
any-
Bell's in it.
If you don't
And
say
she's
it,
looking different directions.
don't you jerk. She does not have crooked eyes. She does not have crooked eyes.
Dude, I told you. I texted you. I was in that restaurant.
Yes.
I was having that lobster, and then at the table next to me, they were talking about Kristen Bell, and then the dad said, like, the little girl was talking about her, and the dad said, "You mean the girl with the weird eyes?"
No. That didn't happen.
True thing.
Did
True
not
happened.
happen. No.
I
You're
believe
terribly allergic to lobster, and you had some kind of
Hallucinated.
hallucination. We went to Hops one time, and he ordered chicken fingers and lobster tail.
It
Like
was
basket of
magnificent.
chicken fingers and a big lobster tail.
I was a king that night. I got the ultimate feast this time, and so it didn't have chicken fingers, but this wasn't Hops either. It's Red Lobster.
Right. Well, you said
But-
ultimate feast. When I think of an ultimate feast, I think of Red Lobster.
Do you think of half of a crab and a lobster tail?
Yeah.
And a
Speaking of which,
microwaved shrimp.
Red Lobster, if you'd like to give us some money, I can say that again. When I think of an ultimate feast, I think of Red Lobster.
That's a tagline right there.
It is.
When I think of ultimate, this was okay. I think of Red Lobster.
Dennis Farina died this week. That was a big one. If you don't know who Dennis Farina is, I mean, you know who Dennis Farina is.
You probably saw him.
Yeah,
in
you saw
something.
him in everything.
Yeah, I didn't know until I looked at the picture on your computer, and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So-
he was his big thing was Law and Order, but he's been around for forever, man. He was on Miami Vice back in the day. He's in Snatch. He's the guy who has maybe my favorite line in that movie, which is, "Do you have anything to declare? Yeah, don't go to England." Oh man, he was cool. He was one of those character actors that popped up all the time.
Yeah.
That was always solid.
Usually doing crime stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's got like he's got that hairdo with the swoop in the front that makes him look like he grew up on the mean streets of Chicago.
He did. He is from Chicago.
Is he really? I made that up.
He was an actual police officer.
Oh,
in
you're
Chicago.
right. Yeah. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. I seriously was just saying that. Died in Scottsdale.
Yeah, what we got here is two dead on the doorstep of.
You know what it is? It's that mustache. That very squared off cop mustache that he had. That was it. That made every role he was ever in was that mustache. Because then I got pictures here of him shaved off. Just looks like, not the same guy. Looks like old Dick Van Dyke. Not that old Dick Van Dyke's not cool, but different guy. Do you remember any other news for this week? I got nothing. Yeah.
No. Well, yeah, just San Diego. I feel like there was more stuff, but nothing as big as Batman Superman. Oh my god.
Batman Superman movie. There were a lot of trailers and stuff like that, but we don't really talk about it. There were some really cool ones. But that's the thing. San Diego Comic-Con, as far as movies is concerned, is not as big of a announcement thing as it used to be.
Yeah, which is good. It should be about the comics.
It should be. Because then I can go again sometime. Because then it'll just be cosplay and comics, and I'm down for that.
And where can you buy comics in Denver?
I don't know. Next up is what we've been watching. We have a whole segment for that part.
I thought it would be good for a commercial break.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. We'll do commercials.
Hello, Real Nerds listeners. I'm Mac.
And I'm Idiot Chittix.
And we're here to tell you to visit SPHyrx'sDomain.com. Why should you visit SPHyrx'sDomain.com?
Well, duh, it's simple. If you like farts and cartoons and bad words and stuff, you should definitely visit SPHyrx'sDomain.com.
How do you spell that address I see?
What? I don't know. Fucking S something. I don't know. I'm incontinent. I have no idea.
Fine, I'll do it. S P H E
Sure.
R
Oh god. Seriously, you can
X
spell the whole thing out.
S
Oh
D.
god, just say the domain part. I don't want to be here all night. Jesus. Does it get any more of a complicated website name? Stupid asshole Spurks. Jesus.
Anyway, visit our website where you can read about all the funny adventures of 7 aliens struggling to live together in an abandoned warehouse in Denver.
Well, what? That's it? What? It doesn't say anything about my crazy hijinks or antics or... What? Ridiculous.
Nope, that's all Spurks wrote down.
Well, that doesn't sound funny at all. But you know what does sound funny? Gross.
Oh man, I'm hungry
God.
again.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Oh, Spurks is gonna be pissed when he sees what you did to his office.
Hey, what are you guys doing in my office? It smells like puke and farts in here.
Go to SpurksDomain.com. Bye.
SPHyrx'sDomain.com.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smoke and Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
My man spider sense is tingling.
Hey, look, it's Man Spider.
How's it going, true believers? When I'm swinging through Colorado and I need comic books, I head to Arvada, Colorado, to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh no, the teal troll is attacking me.
My son's in danger. Will no one help him?
Oh no, it's Man Spider.
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, the whips the competition with great deals on back issues, 50% off, hold slot, 20% off list price. You want sports memorabilia? They got that too.
Where are you going, Man Spider? The teal troll still has my son.
Here's web in your eye.
Oh no, I'm bested by Man Spider again.
So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Hey, Ryan, you've never been on the show before.
Yeah.
Have you watched anything in your whole life?
In my whole life?
Yeah,
ever?
go back to the beginning and just tell us.
Just tell us everything
chronologically
you've ever
what you watched.
Well, he watched his birth.
Whoa!
Oh,
was there
wow!
for
Don't depict
Yeah,
that.
I've got this whole butterfly effect thing going on.
Which
Hey.
they're remaking. News from
Yeah,
this week.
there you go. More
Yeah,
news.
Rebooting the butterfly effect. That's a great idea.
Why?
Because what the fuck else is Ashton Kutcher doing?
He's in those camera commercials.
Actually, he's biggest role of his career as Steve Jobs in the Steve Jobs movie that people care less about.
Oh, yeah.
No,
care
really.
less about.
Have you seen anything recently? What have you been watching?
Let's see. I watched the other Wolverine movie. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I watched
Logan's
that this week.
Bad Day.
Is that what we decided it was?
Yeah.
X-Men the Wolverine 4 Origins Logan's Bad Day.
Yeah, that movie.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, it was enjoyable. The CG was pretty bad.
CG's really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Even on his claws.
Oh yeah.
Which they've perfected before.
Yeah, his claws have looked awesome, but
There's this the closing shot is Wolverine running away while the emergency vehicles come in on the island, and they CG'd him running away. Like they couldn't have just filmed him
like it's a composite
We
shot.
can't get this wide shot.
Yeah. Just shoot him on green screen, and then we'll get a wide shot of the building, and we'll cut it together. This movie's fucked already, so who cares?
It might be one of those scenarios where they edited it together and be like, oh, we really need to really finalize the ending of this movie. You need its wide shot, but Hugh Jackman's tied up in Les Miserables, so just CG him in there.
I'd never seen it before, and I watched it this week. And it's one of those origin movies where they give you origins to shit I don't care about. Like there's a scene where they explain where he got his coat from. I'm like, he couldn't just go to the store and buy a coat. Like he had to get it. He got it from this farmer, and then the farmer got shot. Because everyone who meets Wolverine gets shot. Come on.
I was really sad about that.
About the guy getting shot or about the coat?
Adorable old couple.
Yeah. Yeah. It was sad that they died, but the coat was just hackneyed. It was silly.
A little. I mean, at least they didn't go into more detail about the coat or anything like that.
Yeah. This coat was my son's, and he died fighting against panthers.
This coat was my son.
Where do you think we got this leather from?
I made this from his skin. Put the lotion on your fucking skin. Yeah, it's okay. I was just bored.
Yeah, you didn't really get bored. Just noticed all the bad CG.
Yeah.
The one that was pretty funny was when he escapes the facility by making an X into the metal walls and then kicking out the bottom part. The CG for when he was just tearing through the walls was just so bad.
Yeah. Man. And I feel like that his dialogue in that movie is not really good Wolverine dialogue. Like there's those crummy lines where he's like bub and then the blob is like, did you say blob? And they're like, oh, because he says bub a lot. Like
I think that was the only time that even happened.
And he's not even really a dick. He's not a smart mouth. Like I don't know. And I really hate their version of Sabretooth. Like that movie makes the least sense with the rest of the X-Men movies, you know?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really fit with the other stories that they've told us.
Yeah. And with First Class, it doesn't match up at all now because they had CG young Patrick Stewart there as Xavier,
right.
but he could
walk.
Even though it was long after he lost that ability to walk from First Class.
And Stryker has a son in that movie, but the son is different than Stryker's son in X2, which is, for most people the best X-Men movie. So if you're gonna keep true to any X-Men movie, it's gonna be one or two, and they still fuck up the stuff that's in 2, so that it doesn't even work with 2. I don't know. And the whole 3 Mile Island scene at the end with whatever the fuck Deadpool that was is just it's just a mess. Like it's not even that interesting of a fight. It's just kind of it just happens at you.
The opening with Deadpool was pretty good though.
Yeah, the whole scene with like when they're all like a team and they're attacking that fort thing. Yeah, that was cool.
The fort thing.
Whatever they're doing, they're stealing something. I think.
I think they were getting adamantium. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think it feels like an X-Force thing. X-Force is a different book where the hardcore X-Men get together and they kill people. And it feels like that's supposed to be a nod to that.
That's pretty much what they did. They got together and they killed people.
Right, yeah, and they were all like mutants, but I don't know. Blob was kind of interesting because it was that dude from Lost.
Yeah.
Only he was covered in blob.
Keamy, right?
Yeah, Keamy.
Oh yeah.
He's got an actual. I can't remember the actor's name.
That guy shows up in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. He has a real name. I don't know.
Yeah, Keamy.
He was Keamy in Lost.
Keamy in Lost.
He was probably in 24 at one point.
Yeah,
stuff.
he's got a big neck. He probably was.
What?
I don't. No, I just mean a dude with a big neck. You could easily throw him into any movie where you need a henchman.
Yeah.
You know, and he could be a nameless
Okay.
henchman.
I thought it was some kind of recurring
Like,
theme. Through
yeah,
24.
everybody in 24 has a big neck. Alicia Cuthbert, giant neck.
So hot.
Brad's just nodding his head like, yeah, big neck. Cool. Did you see anything else?
No, that's about it. Yeah. Played a lot of XCOM, but that's not a movie.
Yeah. Are you liking XCOM?
Yeah.
Is it
Killed a bunch of aliens.
Is it the one that came out like last October?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Enemy Unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got this sniper guy who's survived every mission. He just kills everything.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I lost one of my guys early on, and I was like, fuck it, this game's stupid. It's true.
Yeah.
Lisa, did you watch anything lately?
I'm perpetually watching reruns of The World's Dumbest, which is this awesome show on True TV. And there's always a theme every week, like partiers or drivers.
Yeah.
Or criminals, and they're all awesome. And they take 20 videos of people doing stupid shit, and then they have like D-list comedians on there making fun of them. And
Yeah. It's the D-list comedians that make that show.
Yeah.
It's the like bad. It's the laughing at the comedians' bad jokes. That's the bread and butter of that show.
One of my favorites is Tanya Harding's on that show.
Oh,
She's
no.
one of the D-list celebrities, and she never has anything funny to say, but she's always funny in her stupidity.
Wait,
so.
isn't she like the Tanya
She's a
Harding?
figure
Yeah, the
skater.
one that like stabbed a lady in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
She's been
didn't
to
she
jail
get
many
stabbed?
times.
Or did she get stabbed in the neck?
That's what I
She
was
gets
about
stabbed in
to
the
bring
neck.
up.
She got her kneecap busted.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but with like a
She's got
shoe.
She's got a criminal past to.
Somebody else has a criminal
Yeah,
past.
they
One
all
where
have criminal
she's famous
past.
for crime.
Danny Bonaducci's on there too. He's
Oh my
got a
God.
criminal past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like
He's got a
where-
criminal face.
It's where your career goes to die,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious.
It's what you turn on while you're waiting for your dinner to cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But yeah, I watched that, and then I've also been watching episode after episode of The Golden Girls.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the old, great old,
Oh,
good
yeah,
old
yeah.
Golden Girl.
You know,
What is that show?
It's the story of these four women, older women that live together. There's the slutty one, the idiot, the like pragmatic teacher type, and then there's the old lady who just tells it like it is, and they just basically make fun of each other and call each other fat and whores all the time.
So it's the sequel to Sex and the City.
Yeah,
no, it's the
but-
prequel.
Yeah.
Well, no, because they're all older.
It's
I mean,
in
it's the
the-
pre-sequel.
It was
in the
made
80s.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes
Yeah.
place in the like. It's funny because they'll make references to like things that are gonna happen in 1988, and it's like, oh right, that this is from like 1984. when they made this.
Just a couple more years, we'll have those flying cars.
Yeah.
I can like get down with an episode of Golden Girls like maybe once every 6 months.
I've
And it'd be like, I will watch this
Yeah.
and be like, okay, yeah, I get it, and then I will walk away and not
I've-
look at it anymore.
I've genuinely never seen any of it.
Oh.
Like I've seen pictures of Betty White.
I think it's hilarious, but I can remember watching it when I was little. Like
Yeah.
my mom would have it on after school or whatever. So I think it's a little bit of this nostalgia factor, but
Oh yeah.
I try not to watch it when Ryan's around because I know he'll pretty much go do something else.
Betty White's not even the slut on the show.
No,
it's
she's
Blanche,
the
right?
idiot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rue McClanahan was the
Yep.
slutty one.
Oh, that's funny.
Rue McClanahan.
It's kind of like your version of Roseanne, because I did that with Roseanne, where one day Kevin Smith had been talking about Roseanne a lot, and so I turned it on, and the theme song started, and I immediately knew I was going to watch the entire series. Like, every time I hear that theme song, I'm 8 years old, sitting at the old table in our kitchen, and my mom is changing the channel to something else. You know, like, it's not because we didn't watch Roseanne, but just hearing that theme song, I'm like, oh, it's 1994. Oh.
Is that when you were 8?
That was when I was 7. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Right? You're old.
Shut the fuck up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's-
Is it all on Netflix?
No,
Oh.
you have to buy them.
Oh, you own it.
I only own the first 3 seasons, so I got to get on that.
Yeah.
But
You should like find somebody who mistakenly bought the later seasons and then trade them,
yeah,
because then
Yeah.
nobody
Dude.
would have done that. But
Go to TradeSmart. I bet they have them
Oh,
at
yeah.
TradeSmart. Yeah, down. It's far away from where you live.
Yeah.
Wadsworth and Bowles.
Yeah, Wadsworth and Bowles.
It's great. It's worth the trip.
Yeah.
I went in there once.
kind of know where that is. That's not too far away.
It's on the opposite side of the Denver metro area from you.
Yeah, well.
I walked into that store and I walked out with Fast 5 on Blu-ray, so it was a victorious trip to TradeSmart. It was good.
I find that the longer I live in the city, the easier it is for me to drive across the city and not feel like it's really that far.
Yeah.
If you live in the city, you can go to Second Spin.
That's true. Actually, Second Spin is
We
really
have
close
been
to
there.
you, so try Second Spin first.
Ryan and I have been there before. We walked in the door and there was blaring country music, and we walked right past.
That is unusual.
We're
that
like,
they have
yeah,
country
yeah.
music.
Usually it's more like
That's a shame.
It was
like some rock music.
It's pretty bad. We couldn't really look at anything. We were just like, this music is terrible.
that is a place up of like Colorado and I-25, right?
Yeah.
I've been there.
No, that's really cool. That's one of the two really good places. If you are turning your DVD collection into a Blu-ray collection, take your DVDs in there and then turn your DVD dollars into Blu-ray dollars. Yeah, and I think they will give you more store credit than TradeSmart will. Though TradeSmart deals are better than Second Spin deals, so it's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. But cool, very cool. Dan, what have you been watching lately?
I got some stuff. I brought notes, man.
Oh man, see, I came prepared.
Oh look, he's got a whole scroll full
Came
of
more
stuff.
prepared than-
It's like this much.
Yeah, remember that time
Yeah,
that
this is
Dan
my
brought a
first
scroll?
experience.
Brad
My
brought a
first
scroll?
I
appearance.
learned.
Oh yeah, no.
I didn't bring anything.
The first few times I was like, oh, some stuff, and then the words flew out of my mouth, and then the next thing I knew, I was asleep.
Yeah.
Like the next day. So I watched Pacific Rim.
Oh.
I was able to go into it cold. The only thing I knew is that it was about robots and aliens, and that everybody was loving the shit out of it.
Okay.
And I knew that like back in October when the trailer came out and everyone was losing their shit over it. And so on Monday this week, I was up and seeing my parents, and I look at my dad. I'm like, "You and I are going to go see this movie about robots." And he's like, "All right, I guess." And so we go, and again, I knew nothing else about it, and I loved the shit out of it. It was fantastic. Great. It's like everything looked really good.
Yeah.
It just looked really good. Like when he's dragging that cargo ship through the streets, and then they use it as a bat.
Yeah.
That looks really good. Every single time they drop them into the water or like drop the head onto the Jaeger, looks fucking awesome. The other thing that I can say about it is that I loved that movie to death, and I cannot name a single character because
That's
it
true.
because it
I have an
didn't like it
underdeveloped
didn't matter. It was
story.
like Rico,
Marshall. There was a Marshall.
Rico,
I don't know.
the Korean girl.
Oh, Mako.
Mako.
I know her because her name
Mako.
was said a lot, and I know Marshall, but that might have been his title. So I really don't know.
So if people are listening and still have not seen Pacific Rim, get the fuck your life in order and go see Pacific Rim.
You could even call them Shinji is the main character, and
Oh, fuck you.
I like
Rey
one
is
on
the
anime.
Asian girl, and
It's exactly like it's exactly like a lot of things. It's not just like Evangelion.
My dad, who watches Sons of Anarchy, afterwards, he's like, yeah, that was like the entire cast of Sons of Anarchy. Ron Perlman, and then like the main guy apparently. And I'm like, oh yeah, and then also like the little Korean girl. Yeah, Dad, you're right.
All right, there is an alternate reason as to why you don't remember any of the characters' names.
Why?
Let me read you the characters' names. Raleigh, Yancey, Stacker, Mako, Newton, Gottlieb, Herc, Chuck, Tendo, Hannibal. I was about to say Foreman.
I do remember the name of their Jaeger, Gypsy Danger.
Wisened Captain Merritt. Like, of course you don't remember any of those names. Who's walking around? Oh yeah, Yancey. Like,
I loved Yancey. He was my favorite. Oh my god.
Because I think they called each other by last names a lot, and you know.
There was
the handsome one and the handsome one's brother, and then there was the Asian lady, and then there was Idris Elba, and then there was the son and father that I thought were gay lovers.
No, they were all over each other. Yeah.
I missed the line early in the movie that explained that they were father and son, and so later when they were like professing their love to each other, I was like, "Are they going to kiss?"
I can see why that would be a little confusing. Yeah,
and then he says like, "That's my son you've got with you," and I was like, "Oh, Oh, this is
you just
weird.
instantly started clapping.
Why did I go there first?
Oh no! At first, I was like, oh man, this is really ballsy. They're gonna put like two gay guys as main characters in a huge blockbuster movie. Like that's all right.
I also
Good for them.
I also
And then,
enjoyed
you know,
Charlie Day as
Yeah, he's
the
good.
comic relief
Yeah.
man. So yeah, that was good. I also at some point over the last lifetime that I've been alive watched Torque.
Oh my god!
And here's what I'll say about Torque. So, I've kind of had the idea in my head from just listening to other humans talk about Torque and talk about Fast and Furious,
Yeah,
and that's that if I like Fast and Furious, I should go watch Torque.
yeah.
And so I watched it, and for like, it's dumb, but not in the fun way.
Really?
It's not exactly. It's kind of fun, but not.
It's very aware of itself. Like
Yes.
it's a movie.
Okay,
it's a movie
yes.
where people are on motorcycles and their motorcycles fight.
Yes.
Like-
that occurs. I did enjoy.
There's like a giant key. There's like a
Yeah.
giant plastic key that a guy puts into an ignition.
and that's like that is like it's this 1 second shot of this huge key going into this ignition because when somebody's starting a car.
yeah,
And also every single joke in the movie was get it because it's a bike movie, not a car movie. And then Jamie Presley would look at the camera and frown.
yeah.
So
Oh man, that
But
movie's ridiculous.
what's the guy who was in Parks and Rec? He's
Adam Scott?
Adam Scott. Is that the actor's name?
Yes.
Because he shows up in it halfway through as like my favorite character because he was genuinely funny.
Because Adam Scott is funny.
Is that a true
Just
statement?
generally, yeah.
Okay,
Adam
okay.
Scott is a
I
funny guy.
I was like, are you testing
Check
me?
out
You
Party Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same guy. And then also just
Ugh, Dane Cook is
Dane
in Torque.
Cook's in it. Yeah.
Dane Cook is in Torque.
forgot about
yep,
that.
Sorry. All right. I apologize.
Yeah, this movie's no longer good.
Also, Jamie Presley just was way. I don't even think slutty is the right word for it. It's just every single. She said maybe 2 words the whole movie, and the rest of the time she was just licking her lips the whole time. Like that's all she was doing, and wearing all of the makeup.
That's pretty much every time that she's
So-
in a movie.
She's wearing the entire makeup kit.
yeah, just all of it. She went and got all of it. So
My favorite Jamie Presley performance is in Pinata Survival Island. Just throwing that out there. What else have you seen?
I watched, and I'm going to pronounce it 2 ways, and somebody is going to get mad. I think it's Primer,
Oh,
or is it Primer?
it's Primer, but
Fuck!
I've had people tell me it's Primer, but I don't think those people are right.
Primer would have 2 M's.
Well, but it's an English thing. So, like, primary school in England is primary school.
Yeah.
They're
and
wrong.
then right, yeah, I agree. But I don't know why it has anything to do with England.
They also
So
say aluminium.
yeah, but the characters aren't English. So no, it's Primer. It's got to be Primer.
Primer. So
Yeah.
I watched Primer.
Did you get it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I didn't like it.
Oh,
I got it, but I didn't like it.
were you bored?
No, I appreciated. So that movie had like a maybe $5,000 budget. Or it was like some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
I was reading it.
It's pretty cheap.
And
For people who don't know, it's
yeah,
it's a movie about these 2 guys who create a box that allows them to travel through time slightly, in like little jumps, and it's sort of about what they do in their life to make sure they never run into each other. It's written by a physicist, and it's just a little indie movie.
it starts off with they're kind of working on this project and they feel like they're onto something with it, but they don't know what it will do.
Yeah,
And then
they're trying to make like a teleportation device.
and then he's like, "All right, I'm going to show you something, and you have to promise you're not going to freak out or scream or run away. But look over there." And then he looks over there, and there's just the guy he's talking to is also standing over there.
Yeah,
And then that's when the other guy starts to realize what was going on. And then it got. And then at one point, there's like the party at the end of it that somebody has a gun and they're trying to stop. That confused. I didn't understand what was going on with that.
yeah.
But
It's a movie you kind of have to watch a couple times before you start figuring out.
maybe
Like,
I'll.
and I haven't seen it in a while.
It's pretty
but-
short. It's only like some minutes long.
Yeah, I think it's like 90 minutes. It is some number of minutes long for sure.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm glad I watched it. I had been meaning
It's
to
one
watch
of
it
those
for a
things that
while.
if you really like time travel movies, you have to check out because it's one that shows you how pedestrian most time travel movies are. You know, like they establish their rules and then they just play with it. Whereas this is really a movie about time travel,
Like the
to
actual
make you-
science of it.
Yeah, like it's going to
If
make
there
you
is
think about
yeah.
like, oh, this is the kind of actual nonsense you would have to go through. You know.
Yeah, it's there were 1 or 2 points where they kind of, like he says to the guy, "Are you hungry? Because I haven't eaten since 10 o'clock tomorrow."
Yeah,
or something, which is
yeah,
and they just kind of drop it in there and then that's it. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed the little stuff like that. And then I was also just kind of putzing around on Netflix streaming, and I found this movie called Compliance.
Oh shit! You watched Compliance?
I watched Compliance.
Okay,
It came out last year.
Yep.
And have you guys talked about it on here? Yet?
Brad saw it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
So it's,
but I know what it is.
yeah, it's just
Dreama Walker
oh,
is
that
the actress who gets naked.
do you already have a gigabyte of the images?
No. I just no. She was no. She was the actress who was in that Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 with Kristen. I know stupid shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but
Anyway,
I've never seen it. But it's
It's a very competent reenactment of
real events.
Well, apparently it happens like a lot. But what happens?
But this is specifically like one. This specific instance happened that way. Apparently.
So what happens is this: there's this fast food restaurant, and then
McDonald's.
No, it's like a chicken place or something.
It's a McDonald's.
Fine.
In the movie, it's a chicken place. It's a McDonald's.
Yeah. Okay. And then the manager gets a call from the police in heavy air quotes, and this does not play on the audio. But I'm making
the
air
listeners
quotes.
can't see the air quotes.
Not really the police.
Yeah, some dude with no pants on calls them
and says, "Hey, this your cashier girl and
the pretty one,
and then she goes, "Oh, Becky." He's like, "Oh, yeah, the name we have here is Rebecca." And so he's very, very cleverly like playing along that way, and then he gets them to kind of contain her in the back, and then he convinces them, well, she's got the money on her somewhere, and you're gonna have to have her strip searched.
Yeah,
and then they go through that. It made me furious because the whole time, like, nobody thought that this was not okay,
right?
Except for the one like cleanup employee.
Yeah,
then,
like her pot smoking buddy or whatever.
Yeah. Like all the mature adults who are supposed to be mature adults didn't question any of the wrongdoings that were going on, and then the restaurant manager's boyfriend is called in to
molest her,
watch over her while she does her restaurant duties, and then of course he's a skeezy guy, so he does every terrible thing that the guy on the other end of the phone suggests. So.
It's way too bad, and then you realize, oh, this was a true story.
Yeah, but what I meant to say is like it's not really dramatized. Like the movie is just kind of standard, like reenacting. If you've seen the actual, like,
if you've seen the news
report, of what actually happened, it's like, oh yeah, it's exactly how I imagined in my head. Like they don't really take any liberties or do anything like over the top.
They're not trying to tell you
stretch
a character story or anything like that.
It also bugged me that the girl was not more disturbed with these things.
Yeah, she seemed to go along with it pretty well.
She was uncomfortable with it, but she was like, when the guy was about the guy that came in to sit in the room and watch her was telling her, all right, the cop on the phone here says that you're gonna have to call me sir or daddy even.
Oh, fuck that.
I don't remember. And
Call
then you're going to bend over and I'm going to check you, and then you're going to do me a favor. And that's what's going to happen because that's what the cop on the phone says. And she's like, she's not thrilled about doing it, but she doesn't say no.
Yeah. But I think at that point, too, she's also been humiliated like so much to this point that she probably just gave up and was like, well,
yeah,
unless some higher authority steps in, like, I guess I'll just... That's how it's portrayed in the movie. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but...
In the real world, wouldn't a female cop have to be doing...
There are no cops involved in this.
No, but I mean, if it was real, like, wouldn't...
Yes. If it were real, the cops would come and take her away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period.
The
cops
are
are never like so swamped that they're like, look, I've got terrorists I have to deal with. If you could take all that lady's clothes off for me and make sure she's not stealing $18 from your restaurant, that would be great.
What happened to like security footage? Why couldn't they just like look at review
no.
security footage and see if
we needed a movie. So
nobody in that restaurant is operating on all cylinders.
Oh no, yeah. That's the
obviously
thing.
this girl is not very smart.
None of the people in this movie are smart. And the whole, it's called compliance because it's that whole like, what's the prison experiment thing called? What is that called?
I forget what it's called,
but yeah,
it's the one where they give half the kids guns and authority, and the other ones are prisoners, and then the ones with authority just abuse it.
Yeah, and they see how long it takes for them to treat the prisoners like shit. Like it's that same sort of idea where it's really just exploring this idea of how, in a situation like that, we trust authority way too much, so that even if somebody on the phone says they're a cop, we think like, oh well, I better do what they say. No, you don't.
Always ask for a warrant first.
Oh yeah, and a badge. I even my mom's boss once got pulled over by the cops and like was just acting shady, and I was like, no. If a cop does the kind of things that this person does, call 911 right there and be like, hey, cop pulled me over, is acting shady. He's got this car number. Can you make sure that this is legit? Because I'm not okay with what's going on. Like, don't trust those people. And maybe you did something wrong. I'm not saying like trust no cop. I'm just saying don't believe everything. Don't believe everything that's going on. So
yeah, it made me really mad to watch it.
I want a T-shirt that says "Trust no cop" on
Trust
it.
no cop.
There's going to be a rash of criminal activity tonight. That's all.
Yeah, right. It's all. Well, the Real Nerds podcast said "Trust no cop." This is bullshit. What do you mean I can't smoke weed on this corner?
Yeah. What else is in your list, Dan?
Yeah. Did you see anything else?
A few months ago, I watched Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
And I very unfair of me, but my assumption has just throughout my life has just kind of been, okay, after I grew out of watching Disney movies, every Disney movie since, of course, has been complete shit, even though I haven't seen most of them.
Right.
And I had the delight of watching Wreck-It Ralph with my niece, and I'm also kind of into that like arcade game and old video game culture. And I loved the death out of it. It was great,
dude.
It was
really
clever,
games,
really funny, really well done.
When Tapper is moving all cool,
I can
all
fix
8-bitty.
it.
Yeah,
yeah, like it's just really, really funny. It's good.
That movie's great.
So, and I don't like Sarah Silverman still.
Yeah, I like her character in that movie, but I don't like Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Is that it?
Sure, I'm good.
Brad, what'd you watch?
I think I'll start out with I saw Only God Forgives.
Oh, are you at the Alamo when it was like a special preview?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
It's at the C Film Center as a regular release right now.
Oh man. I should go see it. Or should I go see it? Oh no.
I like Bronson and Drive from Refn, but I was pretty bored.
Oh.
It's a very beautifully shot visual movie, but it was really hard to follow. If it's hard to follow if there's anything more than just an eye for an eye for an eye for an eye revenge story going on. I feel like he was trying to tell me that there's like more subtext to this plot than there is, but I couldn't make it out. So it just amounts to Ryan Gosling and his brother are like underground boxing crime family guys. And then his brother is a piece of shit, and he goes and rapes and kills a prostitute.
Cool.
This is all taking place in like Japan or China. And then his mom shows up. Oh, so the police show up and kill him, and then his mom flies in. She's like, "What? The cops killed my son? Well, I got to kill those cops." And she's like, she's the head of this big cocaine ring.
Trust no cop.
Had this big cocaine racket, so they try to kill the main cop, and he's a badass, and he can't be killed. But when he does kill people who try to kill him, he has to take some time off to go sing karaoke to get all his frustrations off his chest. And then all of his cop buddies watch him sing karaoke. And then later on, Ryan Gosling and his mom are there to watch him sing karaoke, and then they walk outside, and Ryan Gosling asks him, "You want to fight?" So then they go back to Ryan Gosling's boxing ring, and Ryan Gosling gets his ass handed to him. Doesn't get one punch in, and then some other more gruesome stuff happens.
Are any of the like actiony, like torture, vengeance scenes? Are any of them as cool as the single bullet in Drive?
Nope.
Oh,
They're all pretty standard. Like people just get stabbed or shot at.
Man,
yeah,
that's
nothing
not cool.
Nothing
So
too
I
tense.
should just go upstairs and watch Drive again. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't go looking to see the same movie you saw before out of stuff, but
No, absolutely.
But yeah, about 10, 15 minutes, and I was like, "Where is this going? Why do I care? I'm bored. When does this end?"
So I think what you're saying is, if I am going to see it, I should. It's on DirecTV as well, so you don't
Is
actually
it?
have to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have to go out. You could just rent it on your TV.
Yeah,
And stay home and watch it, and that might be the better way to see it.
Yeah, and then there's parts of like it jumps around between. I think what's going on in his character's head. There's like a red room that he's constantly walking through, with like dragon designs on the walls, and there's very little dialogue in the movie, which is fine. I like silent-ish movies.
Yeah.
But
usually there's got to be good storytelling through the visuals and at least something driving the plot forward.
I get you.
Sorry.
So yeah, that was like the main feature thing that I saw this week. So I don't know. It's either rent it at home or no real push to go out and see the theater. And then the other thing I watched was 3 of the Hannibal Lecter movies.
Which ones?
Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal.
Oh, okay.
In that order.
So I've never really seen any of them. Are they good movies?
Yes.
I did see Red Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any of the context, and I also probably fell asleep because that's what I do in movies.
Red Dragon is a remake of Manhunter, which is why I said I saw 3 of the Hannibal Lecter movies, because there are 4.
Well, there's actually 5, because there's Hannibal Rising.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that one.
Most people don't. That came and went.
Yeah, Red Dragon is a remake of Hannibal.
Red Dragon is like a very Hollywoodized version of Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
It's very polished and very like straight to the
it's the best Brett Ratner movie.
Other than
Rush Hour.
Yeah, Rush Hour. Okay.
Rush Hour 3.
No.
It follows like a very like a lot of it's very like traditional like Hollywood style.
Mm-hmm.
Like Silence of the Lambs looks like it's almost like they started making it almost feels like a documentary style. Like the cinematography is not that great, and
the mystery is better in that one.
The mystery is better. Red Dragon, like Edward Norton. When he's trying to. Will Graham is the main character and the only guy to ever put Lecter behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
The movie starts out with them like conversing because Lecter is helping him try to track down, I think, himself or some other killer. And so there's like this quick opening where they stab each other, and that introduces you like to get you started on their relationship. But then like Will retires from the FBI, and he's dragged into it. And when he starts doing the cases again, to show that he's a master of getting inside criminals' minds, and like that's his gift, they have him like on screen talking to himself, like explaining what his thought process is when there's no one else in the room,
right?
And that's weird. Like I don't need that to know that he's a genius. You can just visually show me with the camera what he's looking at, and I can help use my mind to put together.
Especially now that the TV show Hannibal has come out and been so fantastic. Edward Norton's William Graham is not very good. Certainly not by comparison to the TV show version, where that genius is done exactly the way you're describing, where you just sort of
lets the audience.
You get to watch him figure stuff. Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, you don't need Edward Norton being like, "You son of a bitch, you knew where to go.
Yeah.
You've been watching them." Yeah, like I get that.
I really like the dynamic between the bad guy
And the
in
blind
that
girl.
movie and the blind girl in that.
Yeah.
Like that plot is done so well and so much better than in Manhunter.
And I haven't seen it since I think it came out in 2002.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot the twist at the end.
Yeah.
When it came around, I was like, "Wow, this movie ended really strangely abruptly," and it didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, and then Silence of the Lambs. Obviously, I think
easily the best of the three or of all of them.
Should I just watch that one if I'm going to watch at least one?
I would definitely say start with that one.
Okay.
Because I think that one introduces you to all those characters really well, and
but chronologically, it's the middle one.
Chronologically, it's Hannibal Rising.
Okay.
But
yeah, I think clearly because he won the Academy Award, Hopkins is doing his best as that character in that one.
Yeah,
he has probably the best dialogue and stuff, like best interesting banter.
Yeah.
Red Dragon's kind of on repeat, and then Hannibal, this one directed by Ridley Scott, and it's beautiful, but there's not really much story there.
Yeah.
It's like you finally get to see Hannibal being the criminal that he is.
But it's not very satisfying.
But yeah, there's basically like two plot points. Like, Clarice Starling is tracking down drug lords. Part of that happened like because Mason Verger, who's the coolest part of that movie is Gary Oldman's makeup for his character.
I was gonna
say, he looks like a disfigured.
He looks like a guy who had his face eaten off.
Yeah,
and just
carved off.
Just watching him, he looks like a guy who carved his own face off while on crazy drugs. And anytime he's on screen, like that one eye that's clearly like a glass eye or just fucked up or something, like, oh man, I just stare into it.
So yeah, between him like trying to get the FBI to help him track down Lecter, and then Hannibal like killing that one guy in Italy, and then coming back to America to cook Paul Crenler's
brains. Yeah,
and then the movie's over.
And I think that's supposed to be like, I think that was supposed to be the payoff, was like, at the end of this movie you're going to watch Ray Liotta be alive while he eats his own brain. Like, that's not a good enough payoff. Like, that's not that satisfying.
Yeah.
And never as creepy or cool as put the fucking lotion in the basket. Like,
as the guy who's carving up women to make a skin suit.
Yeah.
Or
he likes the chubby ones because their skin's a little looser. Like, shit like that in Silence of the Lambs is what is so fucked up about that movie.
Yeah.
That, man, Hannibal just never quite nails it. Which is too bad because I love Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
But
and like serving up someone else's own brain, but the rest of the movie he's like just cutting throats and like all those other people had methodic, like twisted plans, and then they turn Hannibal into just like kind of a slasher.
You should watch Hannibal.
He
TV
like
show.
Even kills just random people.
You should watch Hannibal, the TV show.
Yeah, I think about it.
You should.
If they had it on Netflix, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Kind of creeps me out because I've never seen any of those movies, but I totally had a nightmare once where somebody had women trapped in a pit and used them to make flesh coats.
Yeah.
So I've totally nightmared.
That is the story of Silence of the Lambs. Don't get into dudes. If you're coming out of a convenience store and there's a dude and he's got a couch and he's like, "Hey, can you help me get this couch into my van, my creepy rape van?" Do not help him.
In my dream, the guy who was making the flesh coats fell at the end and like fell on the corner of something and his face sliced off. Does that happen in the movie?
I think that's happened in a movie.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
That almost happened to me when I was like 11 and I was in a playground.
Ooh.
You almost fell on something and sliced your face off?
Yep.
On what? God. Slide?
You want me to tell the story?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. You have to now.
Brought it up. Like, would you?
I want to tell the story. I was waiting for somebody to get like.
No, it's not that interesting. Move on.
Yeah, fuck this story.
No, I was running and I was chasing my brother, and then I tripped, and so they had these cement benches.
Yeah.
And we were like leaping up those, and then I tripped and I landed right here.
So right on your teeth, basically.
Right on my teeth, and these two broke and went this way into my face, like into my upper lip below my nose.
Yeah.
And I could like feel them in there.
Like the teeth went up?
The two teeth went
not like the
lip.
broken pieces, but like the teeth themselves got pushed up into your gums.
The broken pieces.
Oh, okay.
And then the real kicker is that we were out in the middle of nowhere. Oh. And the same dentist that my dad was able to get in touch with came in and met us at the hospital, and he's the same man who was not the same doctor that delivered me, but the same other man that was in the room.
Oh, okay. The guy who was watching you get birthed. That sounds creepy.
Yeah, voyeurism.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to help the pregnant lady. I just want to watch.
I like to watch the births.
I like it when the baby comes out.
Shut up! I need this.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket. That's weird. Oh man. Yeah.
Yikes!
I got hit in the face with a swing once. That's the whole story.
Do you know how volleyball nets have the two poles and then those diagonal ropes that kind of support the poles?
Yeah.
When I was 9 or 10, I was at an overnight camp thing, and I ran. Again, it was dark outside, and I ran as fast as I could into one of those diagonal ropes, and I had a sweet burn across my face all summer.
Oh.
So that was fun.
Man.
And then the next day, my dad lost his wallet in the lake. So
this was last summer, by the way. Man, they should have. When you were a kid, they should have just like strapped you to a pallet and fed you applesauce so that you couldn't hurt yourself.
I don't fucking like applesauce. I don't want to do that.
Anyway, Brad, did you see anything else this week?
I did, but it's not that important. I'll talk about it next week. What'd you watch, James?
Okay, fuck you. I saw Wolverine Origins, obviously. I also, I'm 2 episodes into The Bridge, which is the new show on FX, starring Diane Kruger, and it's a story about. Basically, it starts and they find this dead body on the bridge between America and Mexico, and like literally on the line. So when she gets there, she's an El Paso cop and he's a Juarez cop, and the two of them get there, and she's like, "Hey, this is, it's the van that dropped this body off came from the American side, so it's our case." And he's like, "Fine, I got enough bodies. I don't give a shit about this one."
There's a mass grave over here on my side, so I'll take care of that.
That's literally what the show is about. And so they, sorry, there's a moth flying everywhere, so we're all going crazy. So then they go to pick up the body, and the two halves of the body pull apart. And they, yeah, like right on the line, and they realize that the top half of the body is white and the bottom half of the body is Mexican. And they're like, "Oh, this is crazy." And then along the side of that, there are these other little subplots that at first you don't realize what they're about, and then you start realizing they are all about immigration one way or another. Either it's some people who are trying to get into America and following their experience, or this woman who finds out that her now dead husband, spoilers for the second episode, but that in the basement of this house way off on their land, because they're real rich, there is a tunnel that leads into Mexico that he has been like getting paid money from criminals in order to let Mexicans sneak into America through his land. And clearly all of this stuff is coming to a head. I really like Diane Kruger's character is really interesting. She's basically a Vulcan. She doesn't understand people. She doesn't understand like the way that people act or anything like that. And she's really into her job. And even the way she portrays it really is like she just doesn't get it, and she ends up teaming up with this Mexican cop or Mexican detective, and the two of them are trying to work the case.
Is the Mexican totally social?
Yeah, he's totally fine. Yeah. So I mean that binary itself
outgoing.
Is a little bit like it's a little bit done, but I think
we have to pair up our cop with someone else who's complete opposite of that guy.
Right. Yeah. But I think it's interesting, and I think the reason they do it is because like when she goes down to Mexico to try and investigate the bottom half of the body that they found, like his name is on that case, but he didn't really investigate it at all because they have these things called murder houses down there where the like gangs will, when they kill somebody, they just know that like that house is abandoned, so they'll dump 40 bodies into that house, and then when they think that the cops are going to find it, they will move on to a different house. And so when they find these houses, they're just like, there's bodies here, and then they catalog them, and then there's really no investigation because there's just so many people dying down there. And so I think the reason they do that binary between those characters is because it sort of gives you this idea that we're lucky enough that up here we can have all those processes and we have the time to investigate every murder, and down there they don't. And the murderer or whatever is going on leaves this message, and part of the message has to do with this idea of like, how come when one woman dies on the north side of the border, it's a big deal, and when 2,000 women die on the south side of the border, nobody pays any attention, and like that is where the whole story is going.
If you want to go down that whole road, that's a much deeper road that I don't think we should get into here.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all this media and politics and stuff. I mean, like
Right, but and the show is going that way, and I think that's what's interesting about it. I think it's a neat little story that I'm excited to see what stuff they do. And even though it is talking about immigration, I don't think it is being heavy-handed with any specific like solution or like this is our politics on it. Like they are really just showing you how, or at least in this world, how it is down there. I mean, I don't know how much of it is fictionalized, or maybe it's not at all, but it's interesting.
it's on Netflix.
No, it's on
Netflix?
it's on FX.
I'm 9 years old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Puberty.
It's on FX. Yeah.
I think that show's been really badly advertised because
Yeah.
every time I've seen an ad for it, it's just like some stupid body being dragged off, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just another dumb crime show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be another CSI, but that actually sounds a lot more interesting. So I think they probably should have done better advertising.
Yeah, FX is really bad at advertising their shows. They
have the movies though.
They had a brilliant, one of my favorite shows of the last 10 years, a show called Terriers, that everybody thought was about dogs. And I got into it a little bit late, and it's fantastic. It's all on Netflix. Go watch it. The whole first season, it's all on there. And
The
it's
only season.
the only season is on there, and it's great. I got my parents turned onto it recently, and by the time they finished it, they realized like, oh, we need Jake, my brother, we need him to see it too. So they rewatched the entire season with him. Like, they only did that for that and Justified, and Downton Abbey.
It's just terrible that you can like watch a 30-second ad for a show and still have no idea what the show's going to be about, and it seems like the Bridge advertisements were all like that.
Yeah,
at
least the title is better in this case because
those early ones too were really bad.
Yeah.
It was like a house and like the lights flickered, and then that was it. And then you get the title, The Bridge.
Or you'd see a shoe, like a random shoe.
Yeah, they were doing advertising the way that like AMC did advertising for The Killing, which didn't work very well. So I don't know. Anyway, you should definitely check out the Bridge. It's only, I think the third episode was this week, so get it on reruns real quick and catch up because I think it's really good. I also got a chance to finally go see Much Ado About Nothing, Joss Whedon's adaptation of the Shakespeare play Much Ado About Nothing, and it's fucking fantastic, man. It is hilarious. The way that they adapt, that play is already funny, but the way that he adapts it into both a modern day thing and then just the way he works. He'll work like little skits into it without any dialogue, so that he's not getting in the way of the actual play, but he's adding another layer to it, so it doesn't just feel like people reading Shakespeare. It's great. Little things like when Nathan Fillion plays one of the two clowns, they're cops, and they when they're leaving, like you see them in the background. Actually, I think Ryan said this. You see them in the background trying to get in their car, and they realize that they lock their keys in the car. And there's no dialogue; they don't have to say anything. But it is just so much fun, and they pull off pretty well doing all the stuff with like people calling each other Lord and Prince and all of that stuff while being in the modern day. It just sort of works. And Amy Acker is fantastic, and Alexis Denisov is up. Man, who knew that guy was so good? So for sure, go check that movie out, or if you can't see it, if it's not in your town, be sure to rent it when it comes out, because it's special. And I want Joss Whedon to do every Shakespeare now. Like I want him to do The Tempest and all of the other at least the comedies. Like check that shit out, man. That would be so good.
I feel like The Taming of the Shrew is not done enough.
Yeah.
I want to see that one.
Absolutely, yeah. The only good adaptation of The Taming of the Shrew is 10 Things I Hate About You, and it's not direct Shakespeare. It's an actual like adaptation. Where the nice thing about this is that they are reading the actual play, and reminding you how genuinely funny that play is. Sheesh.
I want to adapt The Comedy of Errors. I think we could do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it made me think about the fact that because I was an English major in college, it made me think about the fact that I think it is a grave mistake that in every English class you take, they make you read Shakespeare, and I realized that Shakespeare is really nowhere near as good read. Like, on the page, like it's just sort of pitiful on the page. Like the meaning is interesting, but you have to study it, you know. And then very last thing was I saw The Way Back, which is it's a little indie movie about it's written and directed by Nat Faxon, Faison, I don't know, and Jim Rash, who you know Jim Rash because he is the dean in Community, and they won an Oscar last year, or an Emmy. No, it was an Oscar. They won an Oscar for The Descendants, yeah. So 2 years ago. And this is a movie about this kid who, his mom is now dating this guy, and this guy has a summer cottage or a summer home on the beach somewhere. I don't remember where. And so they're going to go up and spend the summer at this beach. And his mom's boyfriend also has a daughter, so he's going to, if they get married, he'll have a stepsister. But he's not really, you know, it's a normal Bildungsroman, you know, kind of story where he's not your normal kid. He's not very popular. And the scene actually opens with this new dad saying to him, like, "Hey, what on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you say you are?" And like forces the kid to answer the question. And I haven't mentioned the fact that this boyfriend is Steve Carell. And then Steve Carell goes on to say, like, once the kid answers the question, Steve goes, "I think you're a 3." You know, like, I think you don't get out there enough, and this summer we're going to try and get you to raise that number. And you realize that I've never seen Steve Carell be such a dick. He is a complete asshole in this movie. Like, every time he's on screen, you hope he doesn't open his mouth, because you know if he does, he's going to say something that just infuriates you. And he seems nice around his mom, but then, like, everything he says to the kid, it's not even like he's a two-face where he really is just a dick to this kid. It's like he thinks he's meaning well. Like, he thinks he's trying to help this guy, and he's really just an asshole who doesn't get it. But the story is that this kid ends up getting sort of a summer job at this like amusement park, water world kind of place. Like a water slide, what do you call that?
Water park?
Water park. And then he learns lessons and becomes a better person, and I think it's really good. The weakest thing about it is that sort of the thing he does at the end of the movie to like prove to himself and the whole family that like he's an independent person is not that impressive of a thing. Like it's a little bit anticlimactic, but the whole story leading up to that is both adorable and heart-wrenching and funny. It's a really good little movie that, you know, you're probably going to miss it in a summer full of blockbusters. I don't know why they released it when they did. But definitely rent this movie. Anna Sophia Robb is really good in it as like the sort of love interest girl, and Allison Janney. Allison Janney steals every scene she's in because she's the neighbor who's clearly some kind of an alcoholic. Oh, she's hilarious. Man, I love Allison Janney. So check that movie out for sure. Comic Book Corner.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
I'm going to do something we've never done before for Comic Book Corner, which is I'm going to recommend a book I've never read.
You can't do that.
No, I am. There's a reason.
You better be good.
Okay. There is a collection of the Avengers Age of Ultron, which is the full story of Age of Ultron, which is what they're going to be basing the next Avengers movie on. And so you got like, a couple years to read this book.
No way.
Yeah. I'm going to go check it out. But anyway, if you don't want to pay full price like a chumps pay full price for their trades, go to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, and you will only pay like 80% because it'll be 20% off, which is pretty good. You can get all kinds of comics there. If you open a box, and get all your comics pulled for you, then you get some money off on those as well. What is it, 10% or 20, Brad?
I think it's 20.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 20. It's great. It's a hell of a deal. I don't know why anybody goes to any other store. Plus, I've been to the other comic book stores. They're not very good. Dan, you texted me this week.
Whoa, careful.
It's true.
Any comic book store
that
we have is good.
No, not any comic book store is good. I've been to bad comic book stores, but
it's a luxury for us to even have a comic book store.
All right, fine. It's a luxury. But Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics is fantastic. Go in there and tell Andrew to give you like stuff off and he'll just do it because he does it for everybody.
Dude.
And tell him that the real nerd sent you.
You're gonna bankrupt him.
I didn't say a lot of
Keep
it.
that shit
Only
to yourself.
limited to 20% on any one thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
So why should people pick up the Age of Ultron?
Because it's what they're gonna base the next Avengers movie on, and then you can know the story going in.
What's so great about the story?
I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out.
Why would I
aren't you curious?
What's going to happen before it happens?
You want to know sort of an idea.
I was hoping you'd say something like, "Oh, the art's supposed to be really good in it," or "There's
I don't know. I've
key
never
plot
read it.
point that it's got this amazing twist." I heard.
Now that they have made this announcement, I really want it, and I could go on to Amazon and pay full price, or I could go to Colorado Coins Cards and Comics and get 20% off. So where am I going to go, Brad?
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
That's right. Just like you should. This week we saw the Wolverine.
Sorry, I'm falling asleep over here.
I know, but
I'm
I'm not going to wake you up. So if you fall asleep, it's going to be okay.
Please do. I want to participate in Wolverine.
Okay.
almost 3
Hey, Dan,
a.m.
wake up.
Hey!
All right. Ryan, should people go see the Wolverine?
Yeah, it was great.
Lisa, should people go see the Wolverine?
I agree that it was great. I found it highly entertaining.
Hey, Dan, should people go see the Wolverine?
I'm going to give it a hand wavy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Brad, should people go see the Wolverine?
I was really into it for about the first 10 minutes, and then the old man died, and then everything just went downhill. And my favorite part of the movie was the bonus scene in the credits. So that's not a good sign.
Oh, man. The old man doesn't die in the first 10 minutes.
20, whatever.
Okay.
When the old man dies, that's...
I'm going to agree with Ryan and Lisa and say, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I mean, it's not... I had a few little issues with it, but I definitely think it is a fun time. It's certainly the best standalone Wolverine movie that we have, because at least the story feels like it's cohesive to me. But I would definitely say you should check it out. After this, we're gonna play the trailer, and then after that, we will talk about it. And there's gonna be some spoilers. I don't think you can really spoil the story too much, but just as a warning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Where were you?
Oh, Gene, I'm so sorry. I'll never hurt you or anyone ever again.
It's too late.
No! You can't hide. No, Gene! No!
I've been trying to find the Wolverine for over a year.
It's not who I am anymore.
My employer wants to say thank you for saving his life all those years ago.
Run, now! That is a time when our enemies knew honor. I wanted to offer you something no one else can. A gift. You have struggled long enough. I can end your eternity. Make you mortal. What they did to me. What I am. Can't be undone. Don't be so sure. I'm not healing like before.
His flesh is weak now.
Eternity can be a curse. A man can run out of things to live for. That day ain't here yet.
Dude, ninjas make this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's all kinds of cool ninja fights, and they're not always shot well. You know, like the
A little bit of shaky cam.
Yeah, there's a lot of shaky cam in the funeral scene, but at the same time, there's the Wolverine running around just stabbing fools left and right.
It was really just the one scene for me, anyway.
Yeah.
It was really distracting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was pretty.
It just
Okay.
it felt so satisfying every time he would like take his claws out. In all the ways that in Wolverine Origins it doesn't feel that way, where like he takes his claws out and you're like, okay, yeah, that's what he does. But in this movie, when he does it, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna start knifing fools. I don't know, man. And that whole opening with him with all the hair and the bear.
Bear is kind of...
The bear CG is not fantastic.
He's overly animated for a bear.
Oh, really? I thought he was kind of like, he was lumbering a lot and
I bet that was
didn't move that
hard
much.
to CG though, because you can't exactly get like an equivalent shaped thing to do the movements.
Yeah, like you can't mocap a bear.
Yeah.
You could try.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a good idea.
He gets to date one, have him wake
Yeah.
up with dots on him. So
Yeah, just shave him and then paint dots
Yeah.
on him. Oh my god!
Why is this happening? I'm a majestic forest creature.
Yeah. He'd lay his head down and be like, Wolverine, will you please stab me in the heart? And that's how you'd get him to play his part in the movie.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, the bear was your favorite character.
I was with it. Like he goes to that bar and like stabs that guy with his own poison
Yeah.
arrow and
And does
has
that
some good
whole-
witty dialogue there. And but then he goes to Japan, and then after that, it's just like, hey, I'm gonna follow this one Japanese chick around, and we're gonna go to these bunch of places and like just hang out until things die down, and we'll kill 30 minutes of the movie with
Did
that.
anyone think it was weird that this like older dude Wolverine was like into this young Japanese girl?
Oh yeah, because he's like 200 years old. Yeah, I did. Like as they were building up the whole romance story, I was like, "Are you really gonna do this?" Because it feels weird. But
It's
in
a
the
huge waste
comics,
of
like
time.
she's an important character for
It was
Wolverine.
almost,
but
I almost got like a father-daughter kind of feel at
Yeah.
times, and then other times it would be kind of sexual.
and it'd be
and
like, "I'm
I
gonna
wasn't
kiss on
really
you."
Sure where it was going.
I never got the father-daughter vibe from it. I was getting the creepy vibe from it, but it's nowhere near as creepy as Twilight. So I was okay with it.
This is true. Yeah, I don't know. I liked seeing him stab dudes. Is
And
that
then on the
weird?
train, like them
That action
hanging
sequence
on
is
with
clunky.
knives, like it looks like it's green screen.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
really
clunky.
clunky.
action.
Yeah.
I think that the last payoff where he fakes that dude out into jumping off the train is cool.
Yep.
But
Yeah, that was
the
cool,
whole
but-
ploy of like, well, we're gonna jump like frogs on the top of this train. That itself is bizarre.
A lot of the
It
action
turned into that level from Uncharted 2.
Yeah, but not as good.
Well,
but
and
not near
if
as good
that
as
train
Uncharted
was
2.
really moving at 300 miles an hour, you would never land back on the train. You would have
Yeah.
flown somewhere else.
You would not have seen that
Yeah.
stuff and been able to react to it.
Yeah.
You would have just been hit.
Maybe if you had adamantium claws.
I was reading today, though,
Yeah.
that those Japanese bullet trains that travel that fast, they've never had a fatality.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
In the years.
So
and
you're
years of
saying if I
service.
throw myself in the front of that train, I will be famous?
I don't think they've had Wolverine fight on top of him with two men.
Oh yeah, there were definitely fatalities on that train.
But
But it wasn't because of the train operation.
No, it was because of, like, okay, so by contrast to the scene in X-Men Origins where he cuts the X in the door and bullshit happens, like
Yeah.
when they're on the train and he slashes open the one hole and he starts throwing dudes through the slashes, like I thought that was cool. Like,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah, that was
also
good.
it's also like he doesn't do it intentionally. Like he sort of misses and gets the thing, and then that rips the hole, and then that becomes a part of the action sequence. And
Yeah,
like
it wasn't this clunky,
creative.
deliberate close-up of a wall, and then you suddenly see claws coming through in
Yeah.
an X, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
perfect X,
yeah.
and then the bottom comes out. Nothing else, just the bottom breaks open, and he comes out.
Yeah, but easily, I think the worst action scene in the movie. Like the I think the scene, the funeral is better. The scene when he fights her dad, like, or when Wolverine fights her dad and like everything is blue. It's all very like Kill Bill inspired.
Oh, sure.
Where everything is washed out in blue, and that was all really cool.
That was good.
But Brad, you were in no way invested in, because you skip over the fact that he starts to lose his healing power, and then we're supposed to actually worry about him. Were you just never worried? You were like, he's gonna get it back.
Yeah, he's gonna get it back. I was kind of figuring like how are they gonna explain it, but at the same time, it's like it just felt like a lot of the action scenes, the same thing, where it was like, oh, we're on page 20, we need to have an action sequence here.
Yeah.
How can we do that with what we have in the room? Okay, do that. Okay, audience is still paying attention. Let's move on. It was the same thing with like his healing. It just felt like, he's too powerful. We got to do something to like bring him down to our level, and let's take away his healing for a little bit. Yeah,
it's the majority of the movie, or at least the middle half of the movie.
It's a big plot of the movie, but at the same time, it's just not that like. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get it back, or we're gonna, because they don't tell you like how it disappeared in the first place. So obviously, the result of that is gonna be like.
I will say I was
something
more
weird is going on. He'll probably get it back.
I was more shocked and afraid, and thought it was ballsier when they started removing his claws, and then suddenly like they're literally taking something away he can't get back, and I was like, oh shit. Like, now, shit got real then. Because especially when he loses the one, I was like, oh, okay, man, they're really inhibiting him. Like, he's only got the one claw. What's he going to do? And then he loses the second one, and I was like, oh, so I guess the little Asian girl has to win the day because he's done. Like, he's got nothing left, Yeah, he can get that big sword back or whatever, but how are they going to, I think when they started removing his claws, then I was actually, like, genuinely not sure what was going to happen. And then they did bone claws, and I was like, oh yeah, I fucking hate bone claws.
I was a little confused because they make a direct reference to how samurai swords are supposed to be held two-handed.
Yeah, that was.
But the giant robot-y thing that he's fighting
was not.
It's dual-wielding samurai swords.
They should have given it 4 arms.
Yeah, like how is he having 2 hands on these 2 swords if he only has 2 arms?
Or it could have been like Pacific Rim, where it had a third arm in the middle, and then just whatever arm it was swinging, it would reach to that arm. It would, like the third arm would reach on that sword, swing that sword, switch sword, swing the other sword. Like it'd be this, what's that general dude from Star Wars? It swings all the lightsabers. It'd be like that scene. Yeah, it'd be like the Grievous scene, but with a giant samurai.
Oh, where he has 4 of them.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of that robot in Pacific Rim, like it has 3 arms, and it's the 3 Asian dudes that pilot it.
Yeah.
But they never gave us a good, like, clear
look
view of the cockpit. Like, because every other one is just the 2 pilots standing next to each other.
Yeah.
What did the inside of that one look like?
I don't know. It was weird. There was one guy hanging upside down or something.
I think they were like 2 in front, like the other one's like in back facing the other way.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, but it never looked as cool
they
as
just
we
kind of
thought.
glossed over that one. They should have given it a moment where we got to see what good that third arm actually did, but it just died right away.
Yeah, that one.
He just got crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the mad Russian lady and woman were there, like, were still around when they were the Asian mans weren't there.
Anyway. How does Wolverine, like, holding a sword with 2 hands activate the fire?
I don't know. Yeah, that was
device
a bad plot point.
That
that was why I was even more confused by the robot, because
what
the robot wasn't
Deus
doing
Ex
that.
Machina?
Machina?
Well, no, Deus Ex Machina would be if, like, Xavier showed up at the end of the movie and was like, oh, hold on, let me kill the old guy in the suit.
Oh, okay.
That would have been, yeah.
You thought I was dead.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Snake Lady, not very good in this movie.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for her to have, like, this big ultimate plan, but no, she's just kind of a bitch.
Yeah, her character exists as a plot point,
to distract you from...
like, her mutant power is not cool enough to really
they brought
be
back
interesting.
Toad.
Yeah, it's a lady version of Toad who can spit acid.
Well, and what was her motive behind this whole... I think that was where I was kind of not really sold on her.
Money. Because she says she's a nihilist and a capitalist, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So basically this guy can just get rich people to do stuff for her.
I was hoping she was involved with, like, some anti-mutant organization, and she was going to use the Japanese guys' resources to further that organization's plans.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Behind his back.
Yeah, that's what I thought, was something like that, where she was using the old Asian guy as much as he was using her.
Like if Magneto was running the show or something, as like the villain behind the scenes, like that would have been interesting. But no, she's just some random mutant causing trouble.
It felt to me like maybe there was just a few too many villain-like characters. Like, there was no one that was really, like, the worst. I felt like everybody kind of was equally...
Well, because the real main villain is an old guy who's gone the whole movie. Like, he doesn't actually build... He doesn't build any tension. So by the end, you're not... you know, like, okay, well, Wolverine has his powers back. He's probably going to be able to beat the old guy in the suit. I mean, he almost doesn't. He loses all his claws.
But at the same time, like, that fight was over in a fairly short amount of time, and I don't know, it just didn't feel like he was really that big of a villain in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
And then how about, like, the girl's fiance, Wolverine tracks him down.
Oh, that was awesome.
Well, no, he goes like he catches him like partying with these two scantily clad women, kicks them out, and then Wolverine just goes like, "How dare you? You're this girl's fiance." Like, dude, you just slept with her.
This is true.
In the last scene.
Yeah. She had two dudes
He
after.
wasn't engaged to someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, this is true. Wolverine was not engaged to anybody.
Yeah, but the girl was, and he's accusing him.
Yeah.
Of cheating on her.
I like that scene though because I think part of why I like this movie better than Origins is because as I said before, I like the parts where he's knifing fools. But he's actually like killing people, and in that scene, it ends with him, throwing that guy off the balcony, and then they do the cop out where like, oh, he's in the pool, and I was like, oh fuck, and she's like, well, how'd you know the pool was there? And he just goes, I didn't, and I was like, okay, cool. So you're giving the character edge without having him kill people on screen, because anytime he would actually like stab a dude in the chest, they sort of kept that out of the shot slightly. They said online that there's going to be like a bloody extended version of this movie, which that I look forward to because I want to see, dude, like when he's fighting with the dad and the dad totally chops him in half. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. But I don't know. I'm not saying it was the best. Probably by the end of the year, is it going to be my favorite superhero movie of the year?
He couldn't have chopped him in half because he couldn't have gotten through the adamantium spine. But he did get a good cut in, I think.
I don't know. They drew like a line as if, and then all of his crazy CG veins popped and healed the two halves of him back together. But
I think it was completely in half. It was just like his side.
Okay. Maybe, yeah.
It would have been mortal or it would have been would have killed anyone else.
That would have been cool though if he like tried and it just like stopped when it hit his spine.
Yeah.
You heard a big thunk. That would have been awesome.
Poison is an unfortunate part of this movie because that scene with all the arrows, I was like, oh man, this is going to be cool. Like he's going to fight all these ninjas. And then they just sort of got away from it. And like, oh, he wakes up in this machine,
Yeah.
It would have been cool if he had just slaughtered all of those ninjas and then like, oh, the poison got to me and then he knocked out. Because they have to get him into that chair, I guess.
But at least we got that earlier scene with the ninjas doing ninja ass shit taking over the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were doing sweet flips and
sweet parkour.
Yeah.
All kinds of parkour.
I agree it's better than Origins, but at the same time, I feel like that movie is really only 30 minutes long. Like a lot of stuff in the middle
this
is
movie
just
or
this
Origins?
Movie.
Oh, okay.
Like it's really just the beginning with Nagasaki and then finding out like there's a way to make him immortal, and then you can just skip right to the finding out that he's a robot.
I liked Mariko. I liked Mariko, like the girl, and
that he's
especially
palling around with.
Yeah. He's trying to protect her.
She's nice, but they don't really have any interesting banter or.
Well, like when he shows up on the train and they're talking, he's got some good like
what
gruff. I don't remember now, but he says some funny things on the train.
No, he doesn't.
Well, I just saw the movie. Like
he's like, I think there's people following us. Then he fights them, comes back like, we need to get off this train.
No, because he makes a comment about like how don't these things go like 300 miles an hour and that whole thing.
That's not that interesting.
I don't know.
He was also kind of dying at that point too.
Yeah.
So I think he had other things on his mind.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked her, especially then at the end she stabs that dude in the neck, because she's got knife throwing skills.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Ring claw knife. Throwing knives.
Yeah, with bones in the middle.
I wish we'd seen more of that because everybody else has ninja skills and she supposedly has them, but you never really see them.
I do at least like the fact that every time she gets kidnapped, which she gets kidnapped a lot, she's like fighting back. Like she punches off a couple good dudes, like she doesn't just like, oh, I'm the princess and they got me this time. Like they, she beats a couple dudes up. I don't know.
She tries.
Yeah.
Just too many dudes.
Yeah.
But she still never has knives on her, and she's supposedly like
okay.
a knife.
Good point. Yeah, she should have some knives on her, and every now and then like knife a dude in the neck.
Yeah, like in the funeral scene, she should have got some dudes.
Yeah, like when one of the monks should like come up to her, and she should have just been like bam, and just knifed a dude in the neck, and you'd be like, oh shit, she's got knife skills. That would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
funeral
then
scene was good.
Yeah.
Yakuza come in doing Yakuza shit.
There's
doing
ninjas
ninja
not hiding very well on the ceiling. That's my favorite shot. Is he looks over and there's just this dude like sort of kneeling behind a like
10 feet away from the
Not
people
at
walking.
all
Yeah.
hidden.
Yeah.
No. Like it's daylight and he's dressed all in black and you're just like you're not good at that part. You're just not.
Everyone sees you, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this.
He should have just like held his hands over his eyes and like spread his fingers like he was a 4-year-old. Like, you can't see me. Yeah. And Brad, your favorite scene was the stinger?
Oh yeah, the
Was the
setup
thing
for
at the credits?
Days of Future Past.
Yeah. Basically, which I hate that they leave him with bone claws because that
Well,
means that
I was telling you, he'll probably get the metal ones back because they'll just fuse over.
they'll just say like, oh,
the
Magneto gave you
regenerated
back steel claws.
Magneto can do.
You could bend that shit.
Oh yeah. Magneto can
Didn't
bend
he
that
just
shit.
dip them in melted adamantium too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's the easiest part for him to lose. Like he didn't lose the skull. Like he doesn't have to do anything crazy. Yeah. But it was cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely still I had a good time with it. I will probably buy that movie. Extended bloody edition with more dude stabbing in it. It's really just the dude stabbing I like.
I also really liked that it was in a different setting because, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
all of the X-Men movies have been pretty much in like, America, but like like New York kind of places, and it was nice to have like a change of scenery.
Anytime there was like snow falling on Japanese flowers, I was like, oh yeah, cool.
It apparently rains a lot there.
Yeah, that's to cover up the
Lots
CG.
of rain.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I guess that's it for this week.
yeah. Make sure to check us out at Castleman's next week. Again,
July
if you haven't seen
31st,
it.
8 p.m., $5 online, $8 at the door. What movie are we seeing next week?
I think that next week is Two Guns.
Actually, I won't be here next week, so I don't give a shit.
Oh, really?
40 hour, baby.
You asshole. Man. Because, yeah, next week's going to suck. This is the least I've looked forward to a week all
I
year.
have an excuse.
Oh, man. I really would like to find a way to see The Spectacular now, but...
Too limited.
Yeah. It's
'Cause-
only in L.A., so
Yep.
it's ridiculous.
So, yeah, if you like, if you want to watch Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg be cops again in a movie.
Yeah, listen in to hear Ryan and I probably say bad things about that movie. No. We look every movie. I want every movie to be good. It could be great. It looks like a schlocky ripoff of a Tony Scott movie.
There's a reason it's probably premiering in August.
Yeah. Well, Elysium is the week after that. I'm excited for that.
Studios have no faith in original sci-fi.
This is true. Yeah.
Looks great, though.
Yeah. Anyway, Ryan, Lisa, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thanks for having us.
Dan fell asleep.
Dan fell asleep.
I'm not going to wake him up. He doesn't sleep enough. So anyway, until next week, bye.
Bye.